Hello, 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 and welcome to session 1 of Radiance. Sorry for the delay, everyone. Oh man, I am so sorry. Yeah, we lost power last night, so everything is a little off right now. So thank you for your patience. I appreciate you all hanging out for this first session 1 premiere of Radiance, formerly known as Under IO, brand new season and storyline. So I'm very excited. Very excited to be a part of this. So, and I hope everyone is too. If things sound a little off, it's also because Windows pushed an update, which means everything might be just a little weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and unmute now because I know everyone's been waiting. I'll go ahead, take a moment and unmute and let everyone know. Hello. Hello, everybody. Oh, I cannot hear anyone. Hold on one second. What the hell?
Everyone mute.
Hello. No, don't do that. How dare you? Why would you do that, Lawlman? Why would you suggest that? Why would you hurt me like that?
I want you to suffer as I've suffered.
Oh, dude, buddy.
So does this mean we're rad now?
You guys you all are rad.
Rad.
Nice.
Wicked
Rad. Wicked rad. Yeah, I lost power, which also pushed a Windows update. So, you know, audio's going to be a little funky.
Love that.
I love a 1 hour spontaneous Windows update.
There are two things that are inevitable when you're streaming that will happen right before you turn on stream. Having to take a shit and the Windows update.
Oh my God. True. Big
Dude,
truth.
I've postponed that Windows update for months.
I mean, same.
Have you ever done it to the point where it literally
let
just
you?
turns your computer off?
Oh no, I haven't
can't-
gotten
I
to
can't
where
take
it
it
says no
anymore.
There's
more.
a point where it'll do that. It'll
Yeah,
just say,
no.
nope.
Well,
You don't-
I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
You don't get to wait anymore. Yeah, no. Well, so this Windows update, usually what happens with Windows updates is you guys will be extremely quiet, you know? You guys will be extremely quiet.
Yeah.
This one has made everything very loud. So now I have
Cool.
minus 12
That's a fun change
decibels.
of pace.
Yeah. Like extremely. They're I guess they
I'll
heard
make
the
sure
complaints.
to stream later.
Yeah,
I can't believe they haven't found a way to push an update without just changing all of your sound settings every
Yeah.
time.
Every sound channel.
The worst I ever had was I think a Windows 7 update. It just made all of my my microphone and any audio peripheral I had just not have any sound at all. I turned it on. It was like, we've updated your Windows. I was like, great. And I went into Audition because I was recording something, and it was like, oh, there's no sound. I was like, literally, my microphone does not work. Nothing works. I was like, this is great. Love that.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite place right now that I'm in. Well, good news is I believe we are ready to go. So I'm going to make sure we're there. Bop. And
Fantastic.
I've never
Bub-
been ready a day in my life before, Brett. I'm sorry.
no, it's
You
okay.
have been.
When? Bitch,
Yo.
when?
Yo, Woops calling you out. What are you going to do about that?
Never mind. She's right.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
Shit. All right. let's just dive in. Yeah. Losing power sucks, especially when it shuts down your computer. But yeah.
Yup.
Oh, and then when my computer started, it was making a weird noise like it was dying, and then the noise just stopped. And
Cool.
so
itself.
it's fixed. I think that's what it is. It fixed itself. So
Don't even
Paul-
worry about it.
Yeah, that's future Brett's problem. Don't even worry about it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I've got a new computer being built. I'm just waiting for, video cards to be a thing again, available. Damn you, Dogecoin, and everyone mining for it, or however it works. Yeah. Let us dive right in. Well, first of all, goddamn, congratulations. I think this campaign group has probably been like, I would almost say one of the longest maybe Misdemeanor is along there with it, but this is the third season of this group, so it's super exciting.
Well, I think other groups don't deviate so far
So-
from their campaign title that they have to change titles.
Well,
We're the worst.
yeah,
We're
that's
pretty
why.
random.
I mean, I must admit,
It'd be like if Astral Academy at the end of like, I don't know, 10 sessions were like, we're all done with school. We're leaving. They're like,
Let's go
fuck,
live with
fuck,
the
fuck."
goblins. Yeah, let's go drop out, live with the goblins.
The dropouts of IO.
dropouts of IO. Yeah, it's I've definitely learned one thing, and it's just be careful what you name your
Be
campaigns.
vague.
Yeah, be extremely vague, and that's why we're here at Radiance, which I feel like is gonna be good. The plan is, unless you guys deviate, which is very possible with this group, this should be it's a nearly 10 session storyline, so I'm very excited for this. Might be a little longer because again, this group, which I definitely not saying anything bad about it. It is literally the beauty of D&D is just being like, I want to do that now. It's like, all right, let's fucking do that. Let's see where that takes us. So that's the beauty of D&D, honestly, and I cherish it deeply. So, but yeah, it should be fun. It should be a
Hey,
fun
Brett.
storyline. Yes.
When do we get our Christmas special?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
assuming
where's
in
the beach
December.
episode?
Yeah.
I
Well,
want
I
the
mean,
beach episode.
you just find a beach, or you go,
Just
you
go
know,
to a body of water.
yeah,
Make
go to
your
a
own
body
beach
of water.
episode.
Yeah, there you go. Alter your clothes and then be like, this is a beach episode right now.
I
Beach
also
episode.
Yeah,
just
we'd
Wow.
like to
thought
take our
something.
full rest here at the beach.
So, if our gambling boat like exploded somewhere, how are we getting off this island?
Haha, what?
I'm glad you asked, and that is what we're going to. That is what I'm going to tell you.
Oh yeah, we came here and have
Today.
to not be here anymore.
You know, we still never
Yeah.
finished what we came here for, just so
Yeah.
you guys know.
Yeah.
What did we come here for? As you know,
We came here for
To find
We
out
came
about
here for
the
me to lose
Radiance stuff
Terry,
from my
right?
professor.
Yeah, you originally
we came here to release the void. Yeah.
Yeah, you.
She was leading us to the library to find out what happened, and then you guys were like, side quest.
We need our god battery, guys. We need the god battery.
So first of all, Petra, as you begin to go through the shifts into an Earth Genasi or Genasi or however you pronounce
I
that.
think it's Genasi, but yeah.
Yeah, we're still gonna keep your human stats, but you will be
Oh.
slowly
Okay,
transitioning.
all right, let me just real
Terry's at
quickly
the door.
switch those old stats back.
Oh, did you actually switch over to?
I
Earth?
literally just went into character
And
build
checked it
and
off?
changed race
Oh
to
no,
Genasi. Yeah.
that keep it that way. That's fine.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I was.
I wanted to say though, by ripping away my human stats, you've severely weakened me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also,
Mhm.
I thought Genasi would be like cool racials.
yeah,
Pretty whelming.
yeah. What's
It is
Would
Earth
you like to
Walk.
share?
You can move across difficult terrain made of earth and stone without expending extra movement.
Hey.
I fly already. Don't need it.
And this is like, thumbs up. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, nice. And then I get the spell Pass Without Trace, and I can cast it without materials once a long rest,
Mhm.
which is just
but I
everyone's
have Pass
but
Without Trace.
Yeah, oh, you got Pass Without Trace too?
I got pass without trace.
That's crazy. Okay. Well, that's me. Yep, that's me.
I
That's
wanted
just-
to ask you guys for your opinion on an idea that I had that
Mhm.
was letting Sachi get retired. I know that sounds extreme, but then bringing in a fighter character for the party. Maybe.
I mean, I popped out of a pot, so like,
Yeah, you can pop
You
out
know.
of an urn or
think
perhaps like a stove.
That's more a you decision.
Yeah.
Whatever you have
and
most
also
fun with.
Braun literally just walked away from the campaign.
yeah.
What?
Hi.
Bye.
The light.
What are your thoughts about Sachi becoming a fighter?
Becoming a what?
Becoming
Becoming a fighter? That'd be sick.
yeah.
I'd love that. Yeah.
yeah. So if that's something that you'd like to transition to, we can
I
definitely.
was thinking
explore
about our
that.
party composition a lot as we get into higher level, and I don't know, things might get tricky without like an actual
Things get a
melee
little
damage
wacky.
Are you
healer.
saying that both of these ain't good enough?
Return
Well,
to melee.
both of these hits for 7 damage. So
But that's not his purpose.
Have you seen his smites?
I know exactly,
Yeah,
and that's
it's
not
a
its
fast
purpose.
snipe.
Excuse me.
That's not its purpose.
Yes, we win.
Yeah.
That's-
So
yeah.
Don't listen
I don't
to
know.
him,
Yes,
Buffeties.
last
You're
week when
great.
Brett closed.
I'm presenting that as an option, so that way you can still continue to build Sachi as a character.
Sachi Unchained turns
Yeah.
into a fighter.
It's
How would
literally.
that even work?
I
Yeah,
mean, we can make it work. You're a sorcerer, so
You're
I
a
mean,
soul,
what
okay?
food?
You're a level
What if
8
we made her
sorcerer and
like
a level
a-
1 fighter.
Is there like a rune fencer class, like a red mage kind of thing?
there's a
in
rune
D&D?
knight.
yeah.
There's a rune knight now.
Yeah, there's also Eldritch Knights for that is
Eldritch
literally
Oh,
a
Knight.
that's
fighter
what I'm playing
range.
in another campaign soon. Summer's campaign, actually.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
That'd be a good way to test it and get the feels for it.
Yeah,
I think I'd
Base
like that a
versus
lot.
Charisma.
I don't know. I'll hit you up about that later, Brett.
Yeah.
That's something I'm thinking about. Just so you know.
It would definitely be something you would transition to. It definitely wouldn't be like, well, I got full plate and I'm a fighter now. So
Yeah.
So, but
no.
something to.
I'm talking like second windy fucking action surge, big
Mhm.
deeps, crit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Strong lady
Oh, also,
Sachi's gonna
Brett, if I
terrify
turn
the
into
fuck out of
If I
these
turn into a Ganassi, what happens to Blinky?
What happens to? I mean, Blinky's still there.
I'll be right
Okay,
back.
cool. I didn't know if he would like,
Blinky's
you know,
dead.
like my
Welcome
cells
to
got
Radiance.
rewritten, and it's like, all right, now you're perfect, and it's like,
Yeah.
You
he's
just got
dead.
a wicked case of dry eye now.
Yeah, you're just capable of like supporting Blinky. That'd be kind of fucked. That would
I
be
just
honestly
thought my body
really
would
fucked.
get rewritten by magic and kill him.
Well, we'll begin once Whoops gets back and tell you
Okay.
exactly what happens with the aftermath.
Oakley dokley.
As
Hey
a
Brett,
yes,
you looking pretty cute today.
hey, you all are looking pretty cute today.
Does that get us like a level up, or
Thanks, I got a haircut.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, we
Fuck
kind of
no.
fought God. Like, so what
worth
about
a
a
shot?
level up?
Worth a shot.
You are still going to be level 8 for a little while, actually.
Makes sense.
There might be a level 9 increase. We'll see, but the original goal was to have everyone level 8 before the big cosmic card battle.
Gotcha.
But depending on how deviate, because I mean, again, welcome to D&D. There may be another level up in your future. Just maybe. Maybe.
I
Maybe.
still don't know about baby in character. I pog.
Yeah. I'm
We're
sorry.
gonna get called, and I'm just gonna be like, "Wait, we're doing what?"
Yeah, I don't think you really understand. Like, we're just gonna be like walking down the road. Portal's gonna open. And they'll be like, "Go time." We'll be like,
It's
"All right."
time.
We gotta go. Cosmic horror. We gotta
I'm
go.
just gonna show up and gonna be like this giant floating space baby and be like, "What the fuck is happening?"
It's like, oh, we didn't mention the fetus?
Quick,
Yeah.
hold person it.
a portal opens, an actual baby walks out and goes,
Let's
"Let's go."
do your job, no person.
All right, I'll say it. I don't get the baby meme.
I didn't until last night when apparently it was just all in my timeline and someone made a baby cartoon, and then I was
I
suddenly like,
see.
what the fuck is this? But now all I hear in my head is just baby going, "Let's go," and that's it. It just echoes in my head. That's
Oh, I see this Meat Canyon video.
yeah.
Yep.
Let's go.
Let's go. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. I also didn't get it, but then I watched literally one thing, and now my brain is like, all right, well, I guess that's how memes work. All right, let's
If
begin.
you don't get it, you're trying too hard to understand it.
Yes, that is. I think that's the best way to describe memes. Is like, there's no like, but what's the deeper meaning behind it? There's not. It's just a thing that people do now, and
No, it's just a rapper going, "Let's go." That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, oftentimes, as is the case with many memes, there really isn't anything to get. It's just the fact that it exists. Is the
It
part that's
exists,
funny.
and everyone's now talking. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, let's begin. I did my best not to say
Let's
let's
go."
go. Yeah.
Let's
Do my
go.
best. So a lot has happened in the last session. You fought against the. Actually, let me turn on a fan. I'm sweating. All right.
There he goes.
There he goes again.
Okay. So, last where we left off, you arrived at the Jackson Academy to do some research about the Radiance and the Div energy in the hopes to learn more about the Div and Void conflict, or Div and Void as entities, so that you may be able to recreate Div and essentially revive an old magic. heading over to the academy, nearly abandoned. Only one staff member, or one instructor rather, Professor Hanyo, remained within this academy. After diving in to begin your deep dive into the research, Petra discovered a door that only she could see. Passing through the door, and to great worry to the party, you all discovered that it was a door that only certain people were able to see and go through. And eventually you found out it were individuals that had the memories of the fallen heroes who faced off against Div and Void. The 8 fallen heroes who fought off against Div and Void a little over 500 years ago. And Petra housed the memories of Oswin, the wizard who fought against Div and perished. And with Oswin's memories spread across Io, Petra seems to have the majority of them. That is just encased and latent and locked in to Petra. You also discover that the original headmaster of the Jaxu Academy apparently housed the memories of another fallen hero and used their magical abilities in the hopes to extract them, to more importantly document them. And you discovered a further locked away secret chamber that contained the memory of the Void Star, specifically the Void Star that this fallen hero had faced off against over 500 years ago. It is here that you discovered that the memories of the fallen heroes are more than just memories, that they have their own power, their own magic attached to them, to the point where the manifestation of a fallen hero's memory could very well rewrite the fabric of existence. In this case, the memory of the Void Star became aware and became an actual entity, and using that power became quite literally the old god, the Void, which, at that point you fought off against the Void. The Void, during the battle, you assumed was attempting to essentially kill you all so that it could just roam free, but instead was attaching itself to an entity that Petra had, which was Terry. Old, faithful Terry, who is now...
Back up, Terry! Terry!
Back up, Terry!
Put it in reverse, Terry!
Terry, please!
Terry, now combined with the essence of the actual Void, has become a sort of Void genie, or a Void Jinn, and was able to free themselves from Petra before Terry was able to gift Petra with her own genie abilities as a Earth Genasi, or Ganassi, or again, I'm going to butcher that, I apologize. And with that, Terry departed.
Terry cursed me with this.
Curse of flesh. Curse of stone.
Curse of stone. So, to let you know what happens in Aftermath, I'll kind of do a sort of recap. At that point, the session would begin. You all would teleport back to the surface after fighting off against the Void to see what I could literally describe is a hurricane storm from hell swirling around Jaxu as the departure of the Void Terra Salam has sort of just begun to rip apart the fabric of the weather and the storm around, making Jaxu an extremely inhospitable place. You would see violent winds and I actually have let me go ahead and just do that. Let me just get that up there.
Ooh.
So I think it's without question that Leask has a panic attack.
I can't see anything.
Yeah, it's a dark screen. It's gonna be
Your eyes are closed, both of these.
It's the The beginning is the theater of the mind. Yes, you're all
Once again, I can't
your eyes
see.
closed.
Please open your eyes.
Once again, my vision has been clouded by my own eyelids.
Professor Hanyo, in an act of desperation, would look around to see that the storm that is swirling around the Jacksu Academy is quite literally Terra Salam's, or Void Terry's departure. Where Void Terry goes, you're unaware, but it's probably in wherever the best interest of the Void would be, which is very problematic.
Void King.
Yeah. The storm would begin to swirl around Jacksu. The winds would begin to pick you up. Probably anyone who's a light character would almost feel as if they were about to be swept away by the powerful winds around the Jacksu Academy. Professor
hold me down.
Yeah, Professor Hanyo begins to look around in a panic. Would look over to Sachi. Sachi, I would assume you, as Professor Hanyo would suggest beginning to depart this place, I would almost imagine Sachi would be like, but that's not what we're here to do. Where's the...
Oh, she's pissed off.
Yeah. What about the research?
Came with questions and only left with more questions.
Yeah. Professor Hanyo, in that sense, with a reluctant sigh, you would see her kind of like reach her hand through what appears to be almost like, as if she was going through a portable hole. As she creates sort of like a miniature magical portal. And she starts grabbing things from the library downstairs in a desperate effort.
Nice.
Mentioning at that point that, what would she say? She would say that she would literally look over to you and just be like, I'm going to grab what we can, but it'll be useless to you if you're dead. She would scream at Sachi as the winds begin carrying up.
So what do you want us to do?
We're leaving here. And at that point, she would use her magic to create a teleportation circle in the hopes to teleport back to Wendelin.
Hanyo OP.
Yeah. So at that point, you see with the remnants of her magic powers, most of it exhausted from the fight against the Void, begins to illustrate a teleportation circle. We're leaving now. Maybe the storm will pass, maybe we'll come back here, but it'll be useless if we're all dead.
Are we like standing in Jacksu right now?
Oh yeah, like, and Jacksu is literally getting pelted around with this hurricane currently. Yeah. Unless you'd rather die here.
But what about the academy? I assume it's being torn up right now, right?
Yeah, at this point, like, the winds are literally beginning to savage. She literally gives you a giant shrug and says, I'm sorry. What would you like me to do about it?
Sachi will look very, very sad. Because that's where, her childhood was. That's where everything she knew came from.
And she screams.
There's nothing she can do.
She would scream at you. You have your memories, you have your experience, but we have us. Buildings don't matter. It's a matter of the heart.
Nissa clinging to a small tree bending in the wind.
We've got to go.
This isn't happening. This isn't happening. The void isn't real. This isn't
and
happening.
And then Sachi rolls up her sleeves and becomes an Eldritch Knight.
Picks up the nearest blade. Huh?
What is?
Okay. Yeah, she'll reluctantly
smack him, she says, pointing over at Leask.
Why do all these women want to abuse me?
Because you're not doing anything!
I'm hold personing!
I'm
hold
I am
myself.
still in darkness!
Just bending back and forth on this tree.
I'm sorry. Get in the circle. Get it now. We'll return if there's an academy left, but for now, we retreat. It's not every day you see the revival of a god.
I'll drag Leask into the circle. What god? Is that a god now?
She looks over and she's just screaming. She's like, if that is the memory of the Void Star spoke as if it was void. There's no time to talk about this anyways. We'll figure it out later.
Oh God.
And she looks.
Flame
She
self.
literally looks around as the sky itself begins to turn this violent shades of blue and purple, as the lightning that streaks across the sky just radiates with the void energy. As Void Terry departing the area has created this giant void-like energy hurricane that is now just absolutely tearing apart and just decimating the Jacksu Academy. We'll research it when we know we're alive, but we must go now. Get that man to open his eyes, she says, pointing at both of these. The water will only sting a little bit.
Do I actually have to like place my token?
No.
No.
Oh, am I actually dark? I'm very confused.
No.
as to what's going on.
It's all theater of the mind.
Once again, theater of the mind. Yes, there's no,
Oh, okay,
there's no
okay,
map.
okay.
Yeah.
And I'm still blind.
Yeah, Boffides does not open his eyes.
Yes.
If you can't see it, it's not there.
True.
Get him to the circle now.
I'm like trying to desperately drag everyone to the teleportation circle.
How's Soku handling the weather and the storm?
Dude, he is the most easily blown around, and he's
Skin and
like, he'll like start flying away, grab somebody, and like anchor himself again.
Yeah.
Just like a comedy of errors trying to get to the circle.
You'll see in a dramatic sort of fashion, Sachi, that would kind of make you blush / overwhelmed as she uses the remnants of her magic. She thrusts her hands up, conjuring an earth elemental to hold Sogu back from the wind that is literally tearing him up. This earth elemental will begin guiding Sogu over to the teleportation circle, and you just see Professor Hanyo visibly getting exhausted.
I'm gonna like get behind both of these and put my hands on his back and just like try desperately to push him. I'm sorry we have to do this again.
Boffides, we have grass over here.
Boffides immediately.
When did he become a cow?
Immediately runs over.
Petra, how what would you say Petra visibly looks like right now?
She's just standing in the teleportation circle, but just looking at the ground in kind of a blank stare.
Oh, yeah. Professor Hani would walk over, kind of gently place a hand on Petra's back. Comforting, but at the same time, extremely rushed. As everyone as everyone begins to go over to the teleportation circle at that point
Oh
in time.
God! Somebody get Ness out of the tree!
You see at that point, Professor Hanyo creates a gust of wind, trying to blow the hurricane gusts over, pulling Nessa to the teleportation circle. She is just overly becoming more exhausted, as you would at this point realize, Sachi, above board, if she was spending sorcery points, this would be it to try and get everything there. She begins to pull everyone back in. And there, you see Professor Hanyo visibly exhausted. She pushes what appears to be 3 books that she was able to rapidly get that talks a little bit about the history against the Divid Void, but more about Div, or the studies of Div, as you are getting, she just shoves it over into Sachi's chest.
She'll grab him, and could I like try to give her the rest of my sorcery points?
Actually bestow your sorcery points?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you have not reached a level where you're able to do that.
I was like, these guys just passing around points between each other.
Yep. So
What are you buying?
once again, as you begin to look inside your mind, you wish to assist Professor Hanyo any way you can, and once again, you are disappointed by the fact that you are unable to do so. You must grow more strong.
More stronger.
More
strongest.
stronger. At that point, Professor Hanyo holds up her hands, giving the Jacksu Academy one last look, as rain just continues to just go across her face. And you're uncertain if it's rain or tears as she finishes the incantation of the spell. You are
She
sent.
pulls out a gun.
You are sent swift away through the labyrinth veil to teleport back to the safety of Wendolyn. Or so you hope.
God, I hope so.
God, I hope we make it.
This is not the first time we've had to Hail Mary teleporter away.
Man, I
from
hope the
disaster.
gambler's boat
Avoid disaster,
made it out
no
all right.
less.
I hope the gambler's boat made it out
I
all
hope
right.
that made it out of the hurricane.
Yeah,
Okay.
rip boat.
Brett, I just want to let you know, as soon as you give me the opportunity to train the Eldritch Knight, I will actually do it.
Absolutely.
Whenever you see fit.
Absolutely.
I'm totally down.
I will I will be keeping that in mind. And the opportunity will be presented somewhere along the line of the storyline. Dark energies of teleportation magic begins to rip the fabric of reality around you. And Sachi, it's probably you who first realize at that moment that something has gone wrong.
I know he does.
As
Cool. I know this feeling.
yeah.
Smile.
And as wonderful it would be to warn everyone, if something goes wrong with the teleportation,
It's too late.
it's already too late. As the magics begin to tear around you, you feel immediately an impact, as if you have crashed out almost from the sky into an area of unknown origin.
I swear to God, if I hear the Flump song, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I was gonna say that where you are
I
now
always
under
hear
IO
the
again,
thump.
bitches.
You can never escape under IO. As you open your eyes,
Not both of these.
Pretty good.
Never both of these. He refuses.
you are awakened
Fuck.
under IO. No,
Are
you're
there two nieces?
oh, well,
Go back to the campaign of the last one.
you'll do what I say. Who am I missing? Not
Me.
Where? Oh, there you are. Okay,
Saj.
perfect.
Also Hanyo, unless we were separated.
Okay. I thought the thing that went wrong was I went somewhere else.
You
than
were.
everybody
I played
else.
it, yeah.
All right, well, whoops, it's been fun. Thanks for playing. Wow!
This guy wanted to change class in my game.
Yeah, get him out of here.
You wake up to what appears to be some sort of like docked area with boats there, crates everywhere. As you look around, it appears to be as if you are in some sort of shanty fisherman's village.
Time to do some fishing.
Time to fish. We wanted our beach episode. Well, we got our fishing dock episode.
10
There we go.
10 sessions of fishing.
Yes.
I
Some good
wouldn't
old
be
country
that
Hey, I wouldn't even be
opposed.
opposed. Roll a die, see if you catch a big fish.
Oh my
I
god.
thought Brett
Like
for a
trying to
second
make
was
an
gonna
honest
send
living.
us to the tower, and I was gonna have a panic attack. I heard like the ocean sounds, and I was like, I swear to God, this is the tower.
Tower of Archimedes. We're doing all the campaigns.
Sachi's gonna do a quick mod check and look around for Professor Hanyo.
Of course, quick mod check.
As you look around, Professor Hanyo doesn't seem to be within your vicinity. You will see a gentleman. By the way, just so you know, as you're looking around the village, it is actually kind of like loosely filled with people at that point in time. As you arrive with a thunderous crash, an individual will kind of like rush around to just see what the heck that sound was. What? This gentleman looks around in a panic because he hears the thunderous crash as lightning was there, and look over to you to all of you.
Nissa, where are we?
Jeez, let me get my
So
bearings.
lays down.
Yeah, I'm laying down.
I also lay down.
Sachi's just barely standing holding the books to her chest.
By the
Some
way,
grass and
you
both
all are
beasts.
going to take some falling damage because you were literally teleported in the middle of the goddamn air.
Excuse me, DM,
Oh.
would flying damage be considered bludgeoning?
Yes,
Ow.
it would be.
Nice.
Nice. You all take 11 points of damage.
Ow.
The gentleman walks around and he just is staring at all of you.
You there, you, where are we?
He looks around, still nervous, still curious as why a thunderous crash had appeared from the docks, and now 6 strangers have appeared asking where they are. And he will, in a helpful fashion, go, you're in the village Alaswell.
Aswell?
Do I
Alaswell.
know
Okay.
of this village at all?
Oh,
Can I make a history check? Or...
You can go ahead and use your scan check.
Ooh, nice.
Do I know? I'm old.
Well, it's
This
you're
is scanning her cartography knowledge.
you're also free to make a history check if you'd like. I would say Nisa's more likely able to through her cartography knowledge.
I would just be going off of town name.
Yeah. So, for as far as history checks go, Alaswell hasn't really made much of a historical impact within the books itself.
Any monster stories?
And no monster stories. It's actually been a fairly peaceful village, which is good because if you can't find this in the history books, that means it's been a rather uneventful village.
Or it never existed in the first place.
with
Coast
your
Village.
with your surveying check, Nisa, Alaswell is a fisherman's village that is off the It's part of off the outskirts of, I would say, southern eastern end of the Kingdom of Wendelin. So I would say probably roughly maybe 200 miles away from the east of Wendelin.
Aye.
So you were definitely
Southeast of Wendelin.
very
That's the
far from
crow
home.
Two.
Wait,
perhaps
how far south?
3 days?
Southeast,
3 days ride?
about 200 miles. Oh no, not 3 days ride.
How long
So-
would it be?
Safe to say she missed the mark a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a travel, you could typically ride about 8 miles a day, from my understanding. If you're going at a brisk pace on, I think that's on foot. Travel.
That sounds
time.
like on foot.
Yeah.
8 miles? Yeah.
Could travel up to 4 day travel pace. So, actually, yeah. Travel pace, if you're doing fast, yeah, about 4 miles a day. On Mount, 8.
Damn,
miles a
really?
day on Mount-
Yeah, it's a bit.
Sogu raises his arm in the air like a zombie coming out of the grave.
We're
And then
about
slaps
40
it on his
out of
down
it.
into
No,
the
and then
ground.
slaps it on his
Really?
chest
Is everyone okay?
and heals himself.
both of these eyes are still closed.
Both of these probably fine. I
Yeah.
imagine both of these is like in a stance right now, like he's standing up, but he's actually on the ground, like sideways or something.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
It's like an action figure that got knocked over.
Yeah, exactly. With his arms sort of like straight out, or like sort of bend in L shapes, like he's
Yes.
holding on to something. Yeah.
I'm gonna check on Leesk and help him to his feet.
Sogu
He's
starts hobbling
suffering.
around now after his resuscitation. Hello, where is the closest inn or tavern? We're very winded.
Winded.
By the way, Sachi, you just see your books just scattered
Yeah,
across here.
I see the books and I immediately just like go over and try to pick them up.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah, you would go ahead and pick up the books. Fortunately, the thick binding has allowed it to maintain its integrity. The individual will look over. Oh, beautiful. will look over to you and says, I actually run a tavern here, the Jolly Bass. Are you?
Very, very good. This little adventuring party of ours could use a night's rest.
Oh, adventuring party, he says, his eyes rise wide open, realizing that typically means gold, and says, yes, of course. Where did you come from? What happened to you?
I look across the water. Do I see any like distant island or anything?
Yeah, geographically,
is it-
where did we go from and where are we now?
Can we just say we came from Kathos?
So what happened? Well, Kathos is the continent. You're still on Kathos, fortunately.
Right.
Okay.
It's just as far as Llewellyn is concerned, you're like east, like 200 miles east. Yeah, you're supposed to go west, back to Llewellyn. Something went wrong with the teleportation circle and has pushed you farther east.
I just point at the water.
Are you washed ashore? He gasps. He's like, your boat was, your boat sunk?
Well, there was a storm.
There was a boat. There was a storm.
It's all kind of true.
He'll look over at you and says, from where? Within? We'll have to warn the other fishermen probably not to go out during the evening if a storm's approaching. How bad was the storm? Enough to sink your boat?
Nissa looks up at him, dripping wet. There's like
visibly
plants
concerned.
in her hair.
Mm-hmm.
It was rough.
Of course.
It was as far away from here, though. It seems like.
Boffides will open his eyes and stand up and say,
Boffides believed that would be safe. We would all be safe, and it happened.
He looks over at you and says, what happened?
We escaped from the calamity.
He'll look over at you. What calamity do you speak of?
I just walk over to Boffides and start shoving grass in his mouth.
He's just looking out. Yeah, but he just is looking over at all of you, and it's just like, well, how far was your boat out? You were sailing, and you're letting us. You're saying that a storm is coming, or is the storm coming in this direction?
I really have no idea. I failed my history check.
He
We're merely the adventurers, not the ship hands. Perhaps we can warm up, and I am soaked, sir. I would love lodging.
He rubs his forehead. And he goes, "Yes, of course. I'm sure I have a simple stew for you that could suffice, keep you fed, lodging, if you have the coin. All right then. This way. Allow me to show you to my tavern. Sachi, because I see you're a little ways from the party. You pick up your books. Would you? Is there anything in particular that you're doing, or would you go with the party?
When I picked up the books, I assumed that maybe Hanyo landed over here or something, so I'm just checking.
Yeah, you're looking around. Go ahead and make a perception check. Oh, you did. Thank you. Yeah. As you look around, there is no sign of Hanyo.
Damn. Well, do I see any more books or anything that we brought along?
The 3 books that Hanyo pushed over into your chest, you were able to pick up. The pages themselves, a bit damp, but the binding's still strong and good. Solid tomes.
Cool. She'll put 2 of them in her bag, and she'll walk back with one of them in her hand.
Okay. As you walk back, this gentleman is going to take you over to his tavern. So, at that point in time, he will begin to navigate you around the village. You kind of see that this appears to be, some sort of fisherman village, as people themselves are drying fresh catch and fish to try and make to preserve it, to salt it. It seems to be just a simple, quaint little village until you get over here to a probably one of the larger buildings of the area. Several of the villagers wave over to this man, clearly known as being the sole tavern in sole tavern within this village. And at that point, we'll invite you over into his tavern that he is literally just about to open.
Ooh.
It's like, oh, get in. Don't mind the dirt. I'll see if I can get some stew for you. Make yourself comfortable.
As long as there's not dirt in the stew.
Nah.
Dirt stew, dirt stew.
He'll kind of give a little shrug and says, I suppose it's based on the quality of the fish that everyone has got.
Sachi, you didn't see your professor land with us, did you?
No, and that's what I'm worried about.
1 second. Boop boop. I do got a fourth left.
As long as the creature is within 1,000 feet of you.
Yep, so just see if she's like nearby.
As you cast the spell of locate creature, you empower your divination magics in the hopes that, well, she should be here anywhere. However, you do not sense Professor Hania within 1,000 feet of you. Wherever she is, she's somewhere far away.
Oh, she gone. Liska's just gonna kind of look at Sachi, and he's gonna make a cringe face because he knows that she isn't gonna want to hear what he has to say, and he also doesn't want to say it.
She has no idea what you just did anyways, so.
So, she's not within 1,000 feet. And he's gonna slowly walk inside.
Was there anything else to that? Or just...
No,
Okay.
I did a spell. She's not within 1,000 feet. Sorry.
Where did she go?
Petra's gonna sit down at the table and whip out her book, really like determined, and start writing something.
Petra,
What?
are you all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Hey. She kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. It's been a lot, and I know Terry meant a lot to you.
It's
I
all
don't
my
know-
fault. So I'm gonna make it right. And she finishes up writing her message in her message book, Brett, which I'll let you know.
Okay.
Hey, guess who's looking in the window?
Guess who's back?
We're on land again.
Oh no.
Is that a fucking horse?
Not just
That's
any
the
horse. Yeah. The barkeep will walk over with pitchers with a metal pitchers of water, placing it down, also putting some cups down as well. Drink up. I don't know how thirsty you may be. Your soup will be ready soon.
I was hoping for soup, but this will do.
I'm warming the soup up for you, sir.
This is a very light soup.
Sachi's gonna sit
Water.
down at this table right here and assume there's a window here and just she'll be like watching out the window basically the whole time.
Yeah, from that you kind of just see the back end of this house as a couple of the simple common folk are just walking around, living their day normally. And the tavern keep will walk by over this window to see the horse staring there. A horse that wasn't there before. He'll jump back a little bit startled. And he'll just kind of take a deep breath and continue back at the back of the bar working on the fish soup. And yeah, you just kind of see him starting to put like a little bit of wood in there as the aroma of a cooked fishy and creamy smell will then begin to loft and fill within the empty tavern. You would estimate it's probably about, I would say, mid-morning at this point in time. He'll also start picking up what appears to be some old stale bread that he's kept in the back of the bar to assist in the to be a good side to help fill with the soup. With that, is anyone else doing anything for the while he prepares the soup?
While I'm watching out the window, I'm also gonna start reading one of these books. Well, actually, what are the 3 books?
Okay, so the 3 books are the first one explains the war between Div and Void. The second is a book on Div studies, and the third is the earliest documentation of Div and Void, aka the book known as the History of the Kingdom of Alabaster.
I'm gonna start with that one.
Okay.
History of Alabaster.
Okay. As you begin to read the book, it'll take some time to go through the tome. But your basic introduction to the book speaks of an ancient old kingdom of Alabaster, where emissaries of Div and Void essentially faced off against each other, creating what was known as one of the first of our modern times, like one of the first crusades. So, and that is what the book is there. The book is written as if Alabaster was no more, but give me a history check, if you would please.
Okay.
All right. And with that, there's no further information that you would know of Alabaster, but maybe the book will give you some knowledge later on.
Yes.
As you begin to read the book, the gentleman will walk up with what appears to be he's holding across his arm bowls of this creamy like soup. As he begins to place down, he'll also he'll also put next to it what appears to be a chunk of stale bread. Doing the same for Lise. Walking over here, placing 2 bowls and stale bread over there.
Hey, thank you.
He'll walk over to Sachi, doing the same, noticing she reads the book, and looks around for the other gentleman. What is both of these doing?
Both of these, is the door closed?
Oh, no, door's open.
Oh, both of these will close the door and then kick the door open,
Mhm.
and then say, "Do you have any grass?"
He'll
Lisa
Pulls
pulls
some
them out of
her
his
hair.
pocket. Yeah.
Like, I have some from the storm.
Give it to both of these.
She pulls a lot of grass out of her hair and her braids.
Both of these will eat some grass.
Would you like some
What's
soup
wrong
with
with
your
you?
grass, both of these?
Both of these will think for a moment and then say,
Yes, please.
he'll
some soup.
he'll place a bowl of soup in front of both of these with a chunk of stale bread.
both of these will sprinkle some grass on the bread.
It has a earthy texture as you sprinkle the grass upon the soup.
Ah, you've
Happy
adopted a
420,
vegan diet.
everybody.
Happy
Happy 420.
Dang.
Ah, the kind bud, the sticky icky.
That's
This is
good
truly the weed we
The
were looking
Mary
for.
Jane.
A jazz cigarette.
So yeah, at that point in time, yeah, you're presented with the soup and the bread. The soup itself, definitely has a very strong taste, as the fish itself wasn't really necessarily well seasoned. The soup was primarily made, to extend the sort of like the shelf life of the fish in the hopes to be able to prolong it, able to sell it. The fresh catches will be coming in later during the day, and that's when he will be making more of a fresh meal at a higher price. But as of right now, the food that you have is just a very common soup. Probably would be, for the lot of you, for the 6 of you, 12 copper pieces. Literally a pauper's very simple meal. And yet, it is still, it's filling and sustaining. If you don't like fish, you're definitely not going to like the soup.
I like it, and I slurp it up, and it gets all in my beard, and then I toss him a gold coin.
He will.
Damn,
And
gold?
Nessa works it down.
Yeah, I was gonna say we like work in such high values of gold currency and plat that like when it's like this costs a copper, it's like better bust out the Benjamins. Like
$20.
He will generously nod. knowing any time adventurers coming through, typically they pay their way in gold, not copper. And he will then mention and ask, so where do you hail from originally?
God,
Is he
I wish
asking
I
me?
knew.
Or just the group in general?
He's asking the group in general, but you're free
Then I
to
keep eating
answer.
soup.
Oh, I was like, you're free to answer if you so wish.
No.
Least replies, God, I wish I knew.
He looks over at
That one.
he'll look over at Leask, just questioning. You don't know where you're from?
Is the life. And he'll start like braiding his hair to like trying to get all the water and stuff out of it. It's the life, man, you know.
Well, you should be from close by. He'll look to the rest of the group, pondering the question. Where are you from?
Sachi's not even listening. She hasn't even touched her food. She's just in the book.
You ever heard of Jacksu Academy? He says between slurps of soup.
Yakshu Academy?
Jacksu, he'll think to himself. Yes, actually. That's quite a ways from here.
Yeah.
Some of our more magically abled, children typically will go over to Jacksu Academy. But it's quite a journey. You're from there?
That's where we came from.
Oh. He'll just kind of begin to ponder a little bit. Oh, you're a ways
I
off.
don't really know the specifics of it, but that is where we last were.
And then, were you intending to come here, or did the storm knock you off course?
I'm not super sure. I think we were trying to get back to Llewellyn.
Oh, to the capital city of Llewellyn. Now that definitely is a far ways away. Oh, it seems you're going to be in for a journey. Well, we shall make sure that the tavern here and any room you decide to stay in is as most hospitable as possible. But when you're ready to depart for Llewellyn, things have been a little different here. He'll kind of scratch the back of his head. So your appearance is, hopefully it's not foreboding.
What do you mean?
I hope not as well.
Repeat what you said. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Nisa.
What do you mean different? It looks quiet.
He will look down and kind of sit. At least at this point, you'll see the individual. It appears he hasn't been getting much sleep, as the familiar heavy bags will be underneath his eyes. And he'll sit.
Ah, yes, I know those well.
And he will just kind of like ponder onto himself. Well, it's a bit of a strange story. You see, our blacksmith, Bao, he vanished a fortnight ago. And we are uncertain of where he went. He's lived here for decades now, and he just seemed to have wandered off. We heard a metal baking noise from the north, as if he was working on something. And then he faded at that point. The sound itself faded. What is extremely disturbing is that more recently his wife seems to have disappeared as well, seems to have wandered off from the village. And yet during the evening hours we hear wailing coming from the blacksmiths, the original blacksmith's home. And it almost distinctly sounds of his wife.
Sogu finishes the bowl of soup and slams it on the table. Yep, you got ghosts.
He will.
expert.
Yeah.
He'll look
Nissa
over
nods.
and he'll open his eyes up, and at that point, he will be just like, "What ghosts?"
Well, if I was to guess, it sounds like perhaps something bad went down there. Do you know him to mess around with anything not so savory magics?
He shakes his head. He's like, "No, Bao kept to himself. It was a very kind and gentle man."
And a ghost.
He'll just shudder a little bit, and he's like, "I don't think we've experienced anything so supernatural."
Do they have a last name?
Smith.
Smith.
Bow Smith.
What's his last name? Ghost.
Ghost. Dead. Whoa.
Their surname was Applep. And he just looks concerned, like that's the answer to the question. He's just like, does that have anything to do with the?
I like taking detailed notes. Okay, leave me alone.
Oh, I apologize. But needless to say, we haven't been getting much rest.
Nissa walks over. If you potentially have restless dead in your town, I would like to look into this.
He'll sort of like let out a sigh of relief and says, "If you wish to look at this during the evening, he'll give out a just audible sigh. I would be very grateful. People are already talking about leaving our quaint little village. We're already small enough as it is. Just trying to survive out here. If we lose any more tradesmen, we'll all have to depart."
She turns and looks back at the party. I know it's during the evening. You all should rest. This is more personal for me. So good if you wish to join me.
You shouldn't go alone. What's one more day?
Nissa, at that point in time, you will also begin to feel what I can only describe as the tiredness, as you all have been up for a very extensive, long amount of time and have just survived a very harrowing battle.
We just fought God. Take a rest.
Just a peek, and then I'll get some rest. I promise.
He'll nod.
Suit yourself.
He'll nod and mention that the building is off to the the west, and it literally is right next to the tavern. Feel free to take a peek. We've looked in there several times to try and figure out what the whaling is, and then he'll take note. We've only managed to look during the day. We don't dare go there during the night. And then he at that point just gives a very like concerning look, like, and then just say, "Why haven't we looked there at night?"
Well, you're a fishing village. Surely you're frightened?
Well, it gets to a point where you have to muster up some courage. Someone should have walked in there, but no one has considered taking a look there at night. In fact, the idea of it just... And then he looks off for a second.
Buffety says with his mouth full of grass,
You never heard of it once?
And Nissa shakes her head. Never.
And Buffety thought he was stupid.
Oh god, he's self-aware.
I'll look tonight. And if I find
was
anything
merely
interesting,
pretending.
I'll let them know.
He, at that point, will just...
Well, I was simply pretending to be dumb.
as he continues to eat grass.
Oh my god. You'll just see he looks off in the distance as if he had a thought, and just as quickly that thought fades from his mind. He'll look over back out to all of you and says, "Oh, Is there anything else I can get you? Are you interested in lodging?
I will need lodging.
Indeed.
Very well. And 1 second.
How many rooms you got?
We've got plenty for all of you.
Oh, thank God.
Except you'll have to share with her.
With Sachi.
And he said-
Guys, on the spot.
Finally.
Finally, he's gone.
we keep the rooms rather well kept. I typically charge a gold per room for the evening.
What? That's outrageous.
He'll look over at you.
Affordable. All right, here you go.
It's just like affordable. Thank you. So the total would come to 6 gold pieces.
I just gave him 1 for my room.
Petra's gonna walk over, put a gold piece on the counter, and then just like make her way upstairs to where I assume the rooms are.
Yep, upstairs is where you would
She's
find the
just
rooms.
gonna boop.
The rooms themselves very simple as you walk into one of yours. And yeah, it's just a very small, quaint room with a nice, well-made bed, dresser, and lamp and candle. With a small sort of cabinet to store your things. Yours would be a window would have a window that would look off to the west.
Nice.
Can both of these stay in the stable with Popsicles?
Does Popsicles need to stay in a stable? He's not a real horse.
No, technically not. Wait, he is a real horse. He's a spirit inhabiting the body of a real horse.
I see.
So by all intents and purposes, he is a physical being of a horse. His spirit is just like a more intelligent horse spirit.
Gotcha.
He'll nod over and he says, if you're looking for something a little more simpler, I suppose that could be all right. A silver piece is all that I would require. For you and your horse.
Both of these hands him a handful of grass.
He will look at the grass and say, I apologize, sir, this is not currency.
Both of these will kind of slyly look at him and say, "Isn't it?"
He brushes the grass off his hands and says, it isn't.
Both of these will hand him a silver piece.
He will.
You drive a hard bargain, innkeep.
He will nod in thanks. Yeah, for anyone that wishes to stay within the tavern, it'll be a gold piece. If you're looking for something a little more common, as both of these is, it'll be a silver piece.
I give him a gold.
1 gold given.
Then you are all given rooms.
You're all cowards. Stay in the stables with both of these.
Sachi, where you stayed?
She's still nose down in the book. She hasn't been listening at all.
Oh, I got it. Bonk. On the head
She,
with the staff.
Jumps a little bit. Oh, what?
We're staying here tonight. You want me to pay for you, or you got it?
Sure, yeah.
Also, fucking eat.
Oh.
You can read later tonight. Eat.
She looks at the food she hasn't touched yet.
Quickly becoming cold.
I'll figure something out later.
You won't be able to find her or stay up reading that on an empty stomach. Go over and I'll pay for Sachi's room too and give him a gold.
Enjoy your stay. Now's a good time to get some rest. Things get a little rowdy during the evening as all the fishermen come back. Fine feasts abound. He'll chuckle a little.
Oh, how many locks do your rooms usually have?
He'll blink at the
Locks,
question.
Never heard of him.
He's like, just the one.
Is there any way to add an extra?
Into the door itself, that would take quite a bit of carpentry.
All right, I'll just barricade it. It's fine.
He's looking at you, just like,
Go up to his room.
we're rather
Please,
safe here.
Perhaps you find a stick and wedge it under the door.
I'm on it.
Things are rather safe here. You don't have to worry so much.
I have anxiety.
All right.
It's really bad.
I see.
Very extreme.
Very.
Sometimes you must wrap him in a blanket like a baby.
He'll nod as if he understands, but actually doesn't.
I know some of these words.
And yeah, he'll continue to like. He'll try at this point, put a little salt, seasoning the soup a little bit. As you guys sit over the tavern, you'll just see a couple of just common fishermen like walk in and out, trying to get their food before they go out into the sea to see what they can to fish for the day to keep the village surviving, not only on food but on a little bit of trade as well with neighboring cities to keep themselves going. At this point, though, I'm assuming everyone goes to sleep. Is that correct?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, Petra doesn't sleep in her lamp.
Old man falls asleep after eating the soup at the table and then goes to bed in his actual room.
I like that. He would actually let you slumber on there because it's during like the morning, early afternoon hours. So it's not like the tavern's super occupied anyway. So who is he to wake up an elderly man trying to sleep off a soup coma?
True.
Classic soup coma.
Petra, you said you're gonna sleep in your
Yeah, I'm
lamp.
sleeping in the bed, not in the lamp.
Oh, not in the lamp. Okay, how's that feel for Petra?
Strange.
She's used to her luxurious bed in her room, but
She doesn't want to go back there.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Sachi, when do you rest?
She's gonna be up in her room burning the midnight oil.
Burning the
Just
midday
reading the
oil.
books. She's gonna try to get as much out of it as she can.
I would say as you continue to read the books, as you go through it, it begins to talk a little bit about alabaster, its trade in quarry, smithing, and stonework. And as you continue to read it, you just kind of begin to feel like waves of exhaustion falling over you as you try and push as far as you can. As the waves of exhaustion begin to hit you, do you continue to read or do you slumber? Be warned that you can read, you can continue to read, but you'll begin to suffer actual levels of exhaustion, which the first one is disadvantage on ability checks.
She's gonna conjure up some food from that trick that she learned at the academy. She'll eat for a few minutes and then she'll go back to reading.
Okay. By exhaustion, I mean from lack of sleep, not from lack of food.
Yeah, I assume.
Okay. So you are, just for the record, you are pushing through, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right.
She's determined to get through these books ASAP.
Okay. So with that, you'll continue to, at this point, read through the books. And you push through several hours. Everyone except Sachi has earned enough rest to be able to do a full rest now. Okay. As the evening hours approach, you'll begin to hear the sound of rain
Oh no.
pattering upon the roof. Lower this down a little bit. And then I'm going to set this. Boop. Evening.
ooh.
both of these, and you would probably feel it first as the rain would begin to peek through the simple life of the stable. The water will kind of begin to patter across your face. As little water droplets begin to rain down upon you.
Wet.
Is Octo? Oh, Octo's muted. Octo.
Oh, I didn't realize I was muted. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Both of these will say, what? This wakes me up, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Both of these will say, ah, water! A shame for both of these is not thirsty.
As the water begins dripping across your face, you'll see Popsicles kind of start getting a little damp as well. But just, I would imagine, just stand there, just not really, not really phased by it. Yeah, so you just see little droplets of water begin trailing down his face.
Popsicles sighs audibly in his mind. Yeah.
Sachi, as you are still up, you would also see the same thing. You would see that just the you just hear the sound of rain begin to hit over on the roof a little bit, little droplets of water just over on the roof, and everyone else would begin to wake up from their full rest, unless they wish to sleep in.
I'm going to prepare different spells, pardon me.
Of course. It definitely, yeah, it's definitely now more the evening hours that you guys sleep through. You actually kind of hear the tavern in full swing as people are already getting in. You can hear from downstairs just the sound of people beginning to eat. From above you, you hear the rain hitting. And yeah, just general merriment from down.
What time is it now?
I would say it's the evening hours. You're probably looking at 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd probably lay down, try to go to sleep now.
Wait,
that I've read a bunch.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Everyone else, you have earned your full rest. The only one that hasn't is Sachi. Sachi, I will consider what you've got currently a short rest.
Okay.
As you begin to slumber into a full rest.
Yeah. I'll stay and sleep after I stayed up reading. If you guys want to do something in the town, that's fine. I'd seriously just be sitting in the tavern reading these books until I finish them.
Of course.
So.
Of course. It's only then as the rain begins to get a bit heavier and you hear the crash of thunder. Both of these in the stable, you'll begin to feel your face get a little bit wet from the rain. And now the storm kind of begins to blow through, the water is just leaking all through the stables at this point. And so you're starting to get damp.
Oh, both of these will put his shield over his face so the water doesn't get on his face.
Umbrella.
You'll just hear ding, 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 yeah, as the water is just kind of like pouring at you at that point in time. You begin to hear the sound of the storm trail over the city. The tavern's still in full swing. But things start to kind of calm down a little bit from downstairs. As you then begin to hear shouting. And people getting up as you begin to hear the sound of stools and chairs dragging across the wooden floor.
I'm imagining the like skirp, 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 like a basketball game.
Gravity Knight.
Yep. As and then you hear what appears to be the sound of this like retreated marching, and there's this general muffled screams. Not screams, but you just yells, like commanding yells, essentially.
Fisherman. Nissa comes downstairs.
I'm far too old for this.
You'll walk in to see the tavern keep in what appears to be a very empty tavern, trying to settle everything down. He'll look over at you, kind of in a bit of a, I'd say, an anxious tone. Well rested?
Yeah, a bit of a ruckus.
Good old Nisa fashion. As he continued to pushes the stools over there, and he just says that storm seems to have followed you.
Aye. It's what they want to do.
As you just kind of see him continue to push the stools and chairs. It was
The fisherman a bit irate.
He shakes his head. And he's like, the weather out there is becoming extremely dangerous. The boats are rocking. We're starting to lose a bunch of crates over at the dockside. They came out there to try and fortify everything that they can. You would at that point be. The tavern itself is like completely empty, like as if everyone had rushed out at this point in time. You should probably stay inside if you're still recovering wounds.
I'm here to do your brief scouting mission.
In this weather, he says, looking over at you. He's like, well,
She shrugged.
yeah. He's like, well, very
I
well.
keep my word.
Very well then. Stay dry. And he just continues to try and keep everything sorted out and cleaned at that point in time.
To the west, you said.
Yes, just right over there. I'll make sure to have some clean towels for you so you can dry off once you get back from there.
Appreciate it. Making my way down to...
At that point you would literally come out. The water itself is stinging as the strength of hurricane winds and speeds begin to patter across your face and begins to sting across you. You would get over to what appears to be a building over there. You can kind of see at that point a soaked over forge and anvil. What you can only assume was once the blacksmithery at that point. As you walk past the house, you'll see Bophides here underneath the stable, a shield trying to cover his face, the rest of his body becoming damp.
She nods towards him. Bophides.
Bophides gives the thumb. He doesn't move, but he does give the thumbs up.
She, nods towards the house. Checking for ghosts. Want to come?
Bophides will... Yeah, okay, sure. Bophides will get up and put his shield on and say, "Ghosts, you say?
Yes.
Ghosts of a forgotten era. Perhaps some in need of a hero. The hero of Bophides.
Perhaps
Anyway, let's go.
just in need of some rest and respect. We're not here to hurt them. Come on.
Bophides will wiggle his hand, sort of like,
Tomato, tomato.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
Okay.
Sorry, real quick. Nisa is going to stand there for a moment and kind of breathe in the air and take in her surroundings, and she is going to cast Primeval Awareness to sense if there are any undead within 1 mile of her.
Ooh.
Okay. So, from within 1 mile of the area, as you begin to try and sense some ghosts, you sense some undeath, essentially. You do not sense any undead presently. However, the spell will let you know that there was, perhaps is, a weird presence coming from the blacksmith's house. If you can do me a favor and give me a... Do you have a religion? Give me a religion check.
Do I have religion? You can't just ask someone that, Brett. 14.
With that, as you begin to think, the water itself, like I said, stinging across your face, as the rains themselves begin to pick up. you sense a lingering presence of undeath in the combination of your spell within the blacksmith's area, as it seems to be equated to and linked with time. Specifically more the later evening hours, perhaps around midnight or 1 a.m. The evening is still fresh and young.
Witching hour.
The evening's still fresh and young, and because of that, you don't sense the presence there now.
I see.
But you now have an understanding of when that appearance may happen.
On second thought, Bofidis, care to join me for a drink inside the tavern? Or she digs in her bag, pulls out a handful of mushrooms. I have mushrooms.
Both of these is weary of these mushrooms.
She eats one. She makes a face as it's very spicy.
Both of these will join her, but will not eat the mushroom.
Okay, she goes back inside. Oh, actually, I'm going to come back when it's darker out. And now she leaves.
Nisa, as you begin to walk back to the tavern, you will see a loud, thunderous crash, or see a large lightning crash come from the south. And then you just begin to hear shouts that pierce through the storm, as the area to the south appears to be more illuminated by something.
She pokes her head back in the tavern. Innkeep. Innkeep.
He'll look over at you, just soaking wet, and just be like, "Oh, that was fast. I didn't have time to get you towels. Are you all right?"
No, the potentially a fire at the docks. Lightning.
Okay, all right. As he just kind of sighs at that point, but at the same time, we'll begin to start getting start getting some buckets, yeah, he'll start trying to get some buckets to see if he can clear out whatever fire may have happened over at the dock, and look over at you. Would you be willing to assist?
She's a halfling. I can carry her about as much as a cup, sir.
What about the rest of your? What about the rest of your adventuring party? As he rushes over to get like any sort of like buckets or bowls or pans or anything like that to help carry the water. He's like, I'll give you free stay for a week. Free lodging and food.
And perhaps fresh stew at that stay?
I'll be sure to make a fresh stew for you every morning, yes.
Aye, then you have a deal. She walks over. Knocks on, possibly Leesk's door?
Okay.
Assuming the door is stuffed with, things to keep it closed.
It's stuffed on the inside, so you can knock.
Knock, knock, knock. Leesk.
Very muffled. Who is it?
It's Nisa. The innkeep is requesting help at the docks to put out a fire. Do you wish to assist?
You hear a lot of shuffling, like he's moving like cabinets and chairs and stuff that he clearly piled on top of the door, and then he opens the door and he has like a comforter or a big blanket draped over. He looks like a swadloon, is the best way of saying it right now.
You look comfortable.
Is it right now?
It is, unfortunately. The fire is, doing its thing, uncontrollable fire. It doesn't wait for anyone.
I'll be down in a second.
Aye. She goes to the next door. I do not know whose it is.
Go ahead and knock at a door.
Knock, 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 knock.
Soku, you hear a knock at your door.
Well, it's time to die.
Yeah, well,
Death comes for us all.
yes, fire-related death this time, perhaps at the docks.
Wait, hello.
Yes, always something, Sogu.
Cracks it
The
open.
Grim Reaper.
Hi,
Looks
it's
like
me.
I got another day.
It's just another day.
He'll He'll shuffle past her and go downstairs and stretch and... All right, where is it?
Down south at the docks. You'll see the illuminance.
I'll head down, look for the innkeeper, and see if I can help him out.
Yeah, as you go downstairs, he's already like stacking like a variety of pots, pans, and bowls and buckets, waiting for the rest of you to come on down.
I take a bowl.
Yeah.
Mace will also come down, but he still has the blanket on his head like a swadloon.
You should probably take that off if you're going to go outside. You'll get soaked. Your diminutive friend mentioned that there was a fire at the docks. We're simply preparing.
I'm comfy. Okay. He takes it off and he nicely folds it on the table. Like a neat freak.
Nisa, what do you do next?
Next door. Knock, knock, knock.
Petra, you hear a knock at your door.
I don't answer.
Oh. Hello. Nisa presses her ear against the door.
Hello? You hear a faint sobbing.
Petra?
Go away.
Petra, some people need help. Do you want to come help?
No, I'll just make it worse.
No, you won't. I need your help.
It's all my fault.
It's not your fault, Petra. There's a lot going on.
I made Terry run away. I caused the storm. It's all my fault.
Nisa, if charisma 8 is not very good at these things.
Yeah, you're coming up against a charisma of 19.
Petra, you can make a difference right now if you come help me put out a fire.
Fine. Gonna wipe the tears out of her eyes and come out. I just want to make it right.
Well, this is a part of it. Come on.
Do you...
Nisa stops and looks at the last door knowing Sachi's in it. Go on ahead.
Menacing aura.
Yeah, aura of...
Kill aura from the door. Don't touch that door.
She, like, raises her hand to the door and raps on it lightly after a long pause.
Sachi, as you are just beginning to fall asleep, you'll hear a...
she goes, figures, and she like sits up with like
her teeth.
1 hour of sleep, bedhead.
Yeah.
Rolls out of bed in her PJs and just like opens the door. What?
Looks up at her. I understand that you are sleeping, but there is potentially a fire down at the docks if you want to help.
She just closes the door and then you hear like changing, grabbing her stuff.
You hear the lock on the door bolt.
Audible sigh of relief. Was half expected to be polymorphed into like a rat for an hour.
I love that Sachi has gained this reputation. It better be good. Sachi, you do not full rest, but instead short rest.
Okay.
Just so you are aware.
Look at this loser. Can't even get 8 hours of sleep.
Just trying to save our world, you know. Fuck me, I guess.
The barkeep will begin placing pots, pans, bowls, anything. It says, all right, where's the fire, little one? Over to Nisa.
Mod check.
Won't the rain just put out the fire?
She searches, looks around.
Do you go outside?
Yes.
As you go outside, the yells become continuing to be endangered and piercing throughout the skies as you see the illumination over to the south. As you stare closer at the light seems to be more of a luminescent blue and white, not necessarily the color of a fire.
That way, but something's not right.
All right. Is
Falls
Sogu
off
walks
to the
forward
south.
like sleepwalking, but with a bowl in his hand and is just catching the rainwater.
okay. So is everyone heading south?
Yeah.
Wait, Nisa grabs a bow for these.
Yeah.
I'm not
Grab.
taking any pots or pans or whatever the fuck, because that's stupid.
I just have one small soup bowl.
That's stupid. That's a stupid idea.
All right. I shall begin to move you over there now.
Oh, I was muted. Hold on. Before we
yes.
go, both of these will go up to Petra and say, "Do not blame yourself for the storm, little one. It was simply caused by a hot front and a cold front colliding in the atmosphere and creating cumulonimbus clouds."
Why is
Yeah,
he
but did
speaking
Terry
like
cause
that?
that?
What?
He's not wrong.
I like how Sachi, biggest nerd, goes, what?
What did he just say? And then he goes back to eating grass. His moment of clarity gone.
Congrats. I'm telling you, anyone out there making a character for D&D, peak comedy, making a really stupid character that's really
That's
smart.
sometimes smart,
one
very specifically.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Bofuty's thing is weather. He just knows a lot about the weather.
Quite literally, I think 28 sessions later, I think this is like session 27 out of everything we've done so far. It's like, that's your time to strike with
the first time
effects.
that we've ever encountered weather before.
So you all begin to head over to the docks. You begin to hear the sort of like piercing screams. And as you do so, you realize, I would say up at this point, zooming out as you see the people in sort of a panic. And this is when you know things are going to get bad when I turn the grid back on.
Yeah.
I have to
the grid.
For a short rest as a sorcerer. Do I have? It says I have to roll my hit die +2 to get my sorcery points back. So I got 7 sorcery points back. Is that right?
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
What does
For a short
it?
rest.
What is that under?
I just hit the short rest button on D&D Beyond.
Oh, so the short rest.
Here, look.
I
I'll show you what it says.
Yes, please. Oh, there we go. Hit die, 1d6 +2, total 8. Oh, that's for
That's
healing. Wait,
Is it?
let me see. Yeah,
you
that,
heal with
Yeah,
hit die.
that's for healing.
I mean, why does it say sorcerer and then it has the HP above that?
because it doesn't actually
All
say
I
it the
know
way
is
it's
I don't
supposed
think
to.
sorcerers get.
1 second, please.
Sorcerers.
Okay.
How do they work?
Sorry, I crashed a little bit. I apologize. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir?
All right, cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, so 1 second. I'm just managing something
Oh, you're
real
right,
quick.
it does show sorcerer, huh?
Yeah, I think
Weird.
I think it's just letting you know what your hit die roll is, and as a sorcerer, it's a D6. 'Cause I'm sure if it showed for Warlock, it'll probably say like a D8 plus whatever the con mod is as well. You know what I mean?
Okay, so for Warlock, it definitely shows the same shit. So it's not a sorcery point thing. For me, it says Warlock 1d8 +1 total 8.
Gotcha.
Oh, you just have that many hit die to roll. That's all it is. You have 8 hit die total, right?
Oh yeah. That's
you
what
get
that
one
is.
your
per-
health.
You get one per level.
Yeah.
That makes
so that
sense.
you can click that button to keep healing during your short rest by spending
Yeah.
hit
You
die.
don't get any from short rest till you're level 20.
Although I do want to change it later on in in like future versions of IO, where short rests do more for spellcasters. Because right now the way they have spellcasters is if you want to start restoring like sorcery points or like spells and things like that, you have to wait till you're level 20, which I find really stupid.
Yeah.
So
Well, I don't know. I like that they make long rests like worth it.
Yeah,
because
but-
then you do get screwed out in combat if you're not resting. and shit.
true, but fighters also then are just
That's
like
true.
yeah. So it's really more just to give spellcasters a little bit of that balance. It's something I'm always trying to figure out, but yeah, anyways, sorry, let me go ahead and just readjust some things. But yeah, so just to repeat what has happened. I think we can start with that. Sachi,
That's me.
you will recover 4 sorcery points.
Cool.
I give tired Sachi a pat on the head and cast guidance.
Also cool.
Leask,
I give Liska a pat on
Hello.
the head and say, hello.
you
Hello.
you restore a 4th level spell slot, or the combination of a 4th level spell slot. So it could be 4 level 1s, it could be 2 level 2s, it could be level 2 and 2 level 1s, it could be level 3 and level 1. I will leave the option to you. Oh, actually, no, you got a long rest. Well, you got a long rest. Never mind.
Everybody else long rested, yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Well, not you because of No, I'm kidding.
That's
And not
too
me
real.
because I
Too
cried
real.
all night.
I really want the game to feel real. It'd make you sad and shit.
I really want you to feel pain.
I really just want you to experience that. Yeah.
That's why I looked up shock collars and when you take damage.
It's fun, right? D&D, right?
It's engaging. I don't know about fun.
Immersion.
So, as all of you begin to approach the docks, you'll realize at that point what is being illuminated over the south as people begin rushing and panicking, trying to hold the boats away. The wind's beginning to pull everything there, and it's not a fire, but some sort of elemental that seems to be rampaging
God.
the area from the storm that is in there. Can I get an Arcana check, please, from my spellcaster specifically?
What in the goddamn?
Hey, that's me.
Hey, Sachi, add a D4 to that.
Add a D4.
Sachi, take your D4.
No.
What the fuck?
No. That's a dominant move. Well, all of you have done really well. To note, at this point, as you see the elemental that is storming through the area, it appears to be some kind of lightning elemental. Not a common thing not really so much a common thing within the realm of, let's say, typical elementals that you would see in Magic. This thing seems to be manifested by something differently. As you stare at the elemental and the storm around you, it's that has a familiar sting to it. You realize that this may actually have been the void storm that you were trying to outrun from the Jackson Academy
crazy.
that may have found its way over to you. So with that, I need everyone to roll initiative.
I'm gonna walk up to Neeson's point and be like, "That's not a fire."
I dropped my bull.
Drops
In all
hand.
technicality, if it's
I was gonna cast create food and water and make 30 gallons of water in containers. Now it's pointless.
I loved how chat and some of you guys were like, "Huh, fire in the middle of a rainstorm." And
I was like, rain
and I
puts
was
out
like,
fire.
and I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to be like, never said it was a fire. It just said something was lit up.
Something's
Yeah.
glowing.
I kind of knew the whole time.
And also, the guy just giving us pots and pans, like, in a real, like, what are we gonna do?
Well, I mean, Nisa walked
Hang out in the rain
and
and collect the water and then
well,
heat
Nisa
it, like-
walked in was
It's a
like,
fire.
it's like, I think it's a fire. And so the guy was like, I have
All
to
right,
assume it's
prepare
a
for
fire.
fires.
Yeah, exactly.
What else is gonna,
I
get
have no
people down
reason
to
for
the
you to
docks?
lie to me.
Yeah.
Until now.
Like, somebody left a lantern on at the docks. Doesn't have quite the same kick to
That's
it.
true. That's true.
Sachi, I need you to roll your initiative, please. Make sure your token is selected.
I thought I did.
Try
Oh,
again.
no. He got owned.
Oh, you missed that one. Try another.
Try another. I know what you're talking about. That's Jesus Christ.
Look at that. 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow.
So, in
5,
typical
6, 7, 8.
so in typical IO fashion,
Who do we obliterate?
I will be experimenting with a variety of new combat options to make combat engaging as possible, and also just to make
Yeah.
your life as
Homebrew game innovation.
yes, also to make your life as challenging as possible. So, a nice little fun addition we're going to go ahead and do here is the fact that you will notice that there is no enemy initiative because you don't know what
Gah.
that is yet.
Gah.
Good.
So,
Guys, we can figure this out. Just figure out who goes after and before.
so with that, along with a bunch of other things that, let me just say, scan checks will be very important.
Excuse me, Mr. Brett. My scan check relied on me asking my parental guardian for information, and he is no longer with me.
Ooh, we're gonna have to change that to reflective sorrow. No, I'm kidding.
Sag. You cast Sag.
You cast Sag scan.
Familiar faces.
What would you say Petra's scan ability would be at this point then?
I couldn't tell you.
Genie
She's not
insight.
exactly genie insight. Natural. Also, are Ganassi like a thing in IO? Before me? Okay.
Yep. You are not the first
Okay.
one.
I don't got that special going for. I don't know.
They
Outside of genie knowledge, I'm
Childlike
just a little girl.
wonder.
Childlike curiosity.
wonder.
Childlike wonder. For now, I'm going to keep it as the genie scan ability, because as a genasi you
I
also
have no scan.
Yeah, no, you do.
No,
I mean,
don't, Brett.
So
Not anymore.
All right, so your warlock abilities will also then be locked out at that point, if that's
I am just little girl
What if
now.
it was Terry's tails?
yeah.
Oh.
Terry's tails. Oh, all right. So
PBS kid.
with the elemental rampaging and storming, everyone beginning to run through here, it appears to be some sort of elemental over there. You do see what appears to be a challenging creature created by the void storm that surrounds over the village. All right. Let me see if I start low, go up.
First combat of Radiance. Let's go.
Let's go.
Draws bow. Let's go.
Let's go!
Let's go. So with that, Nisa, it's your turn.
Oh, it's Dread Ambusher time, baby. I'm also going to cast Zephyr Strike to give myself advantage on my first weapon attack this combat. And I'm going to get 3 attacks. So
Okay.
I'm going to do the first one with advantage. Eventually, hold on.
Is it not going through? Hey, there it is. 28 hits.
This one will do the Zephyr Strike damage,
Okay.
which is 1d8.
All right.
And then that's the damage from that one.
Okay.
I'm going to attack a second time.
That hits.
And damage. And it is my favorite foe.
Okay. You have marked it as your favorite foe.
I'm going to finish my third attack.
That one will miss. As the arrow itself, you'll just actually see arc around it from its natural wind-like barrier from the storm.
Okay, I have 30 additional movement. No, I have 45 additional movement because of Dread Ambusher and Zephyr Strike, so I'm going to zoom over somewhere. Hold on. Doop. I'm going to scan it.
All right. So with a 13, that is not high enough.
And I pass my turn.
Okay. Okay. So just before both of these, the creature will go. As you will then see it with a thunderous crash. Vanish and teleport
I know that spell.
right next to Nisa.
Uh-oh. Spaghettios.
I can do that.
Let's go.
Both of these, it is your turn.
Guys, we know it's initiatives between 17 and 12. We got this.
Both of these will, as is true to both of these fashion, cast Shield of Faith on himself as a bonus action.
Okay.
5, 10, 25, 30. Just barely. And then guess what? It's time for me to swing my sword.
Yeah.
Miss. And 24.
24 hits.
And oh. I'm clicking on the roll damages, but nothing's happening.
Click the damage and roll 20, or is that not working?
Oh, I can click it and roll 20. Hold on.
Yeah, you can. It says click.
What? Oh, not very good.
What did it pop up as?
2? Did it show
What?
up in?
What?
Yeah, so 5 damage total.
All right. Just roll 20 being roll 20, Smile. Okay,
Yeah.
so both go on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna smite. That's the end of my. But what I will do. Oh no, I don't have a bonus action. Never mind. Okay, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. I would recommend scanning because there's actually a lot to learn about this guy.
Okay, fine.
He really has to remind us that this is a mechanic we need to use.
13.
Not high enough.
There you go.
All right. Sogu, it's your turn.
I lock eyes with the creature, and I scan.
All right. A 15 is not high enough.
I'm angry now.
Yeah.
And so I turn myself into a fucking T-Rex.
Yo, what?
I love it so much.
I keep forgetting this is a thing he can just do now.
Like,
Oh,
and
he
then
was
I'm a
serious.
Tyrannosaurus.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Does your T-Rex have like a beard and stuff?
You know what? He does.
I
How
always
does
like,
what's the stipulation on like polymorph aesthetic?
well, usually it's kind of up to interpretation. It doesn't necessarily physically change anything, but I always really like the idea that if you polymorph somebody, they sort of have some things
Still
that are
the features of that.
Boom,
Yeah, I'm okay
yeah.
with I'm okay with the Sogusaurus.
Boom, boom. And I roar in his face because I don't get another action this turn.
Okay. Does that end your round?
Yeah, I tried to scan. Action, I can't bonus action anything as big man. That's it.
All right, Sachi.
Huh. She'll blink at the fact that Sogu just turned into a T-Rex.
Please, queen.
Right.
I ran a Sogus Rex.
Get off my mouse pad.
Okay. Let's see. I'll start with the scan.
Okay. With a 19, you are about to gain several things that you can learn about. As a new thing, you will need to learn half of these things before you start asking about meta information.
Okay.
So let me actually copy paste because there's actually a lot. 1 second.
Oh my god, do I get to be the Google Doc note keeper? I would love
That
to
would
do
be super.
If you'd like
Good.
to.
I want you to know I
absolutely.
tried to take D&D notes at one point, and I think I wrote down like one sentence. It was like, this shopkeeper is this.
And then you
Oh.
went,
And then I forgot about it.
All right, here's the list of things that I'm going to copy paste into this area. You can ask about. don't. Hold on.
Go break in my heart.
Oh,
Don't
You and
go
the
breaking my heart. All right, here we go. You can ask between the following: powerful creature, solidified concentration, semi-intangible, concentration turn, move turn, action turn, conjuration turn, its resistances, its damage immunities, or its condition immunities.
Right, right. I know some of these words.
I'd like to know its damage immunities first off.
Okay. It is immune to poison damage.
Okay. You said I can learn 3 things, right?
No, one thing. You have to learn half before you start asking meta, like what's his AC, what's his HP. So
Oh,
that
shit.
those kind of things.
Okay.
Yeah. It is immune to poison damage.
Darn, all my poison spells won't work on this guy.
Shoot.
I'm gonna haste Sogu.
Whoa.
Take the
Okay.
T-Rex.
Okay.
So that is now a hasted T-Rex.
Alright.
And I'll go over here and end my turn.
Okay. Leask, is now your turn.
Well, I wouldn't be doing my job right if I didn't do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means this is the third level.
Rex.
I'm
Bless
going
the Rex.
to 4th level cast bless on everybody. So everybody has bless.
Yes.
Bless.
I
will never
blast.
fail my con save now.
1, 2, 3,
Bless
4.
the Rex. Bless the Rex.
All right, then I just moved back here because I had to move forward a little bit to get everybody.
Blessed haste.
Have you
and
seen
then-
those things that's like bless this mess for like a house?
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
bless this Rex.
All right, and then I'm going to scam.
All right. Between the list I gave you before, what would you like to know?
So we did damage immunities, right?
Correct.
All right, then resistances.
Okay. So,
Ooh.
it is resistant to the following: lightning damage, thunder damage, and bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks.
Oh shit. Makes sense though.
Yeah, that all adds up.
Okay, sounds good. In turn.
All right. At the end of Least's turn, it will slam at Nisa. Oh, wow.
Goodbye, sir.
Here we go. 14 to hit your armor class.
My AC is 14. So yeah.
All right, so that hits, and that 11 will miss.
Yeah, misses.
It will deal 13 points of bludgeoning damage to you as this thunderous force just crashes against you.
Come on and slam.
Petra, it is now your turn.
Petra's kind of first. Petra's gonna try to scan. She's gonna go like, Terry, what is that? Oh,
A sadness will fall over you. With a 16 from the list I gave you, what would you like to know?
what does powerful creature mean?
Okay.
Yeah,
Powerful
let's go with
creature.
that.
The lightning primal is infused with great power and is able to take the following turns in one round: a concentration turn, a move turn, an action turn, and a conjure turn. It has 4 turns it takes in one round, all with its own initiative orders.
What? It's only taking 2 and it's about to be the end of your turn.
Got it.
Math.
That's a lot of turns. And then I will hit it with the old tried and true double Eldritch Blast.
Both miss. And
Very cool.
As
Oh,
depression
no.
falls over you.
Yeah,
All right.
Keep up
I
the
can't even do that right.
At the end of Petra's turn, you will see this creature hold up its arms as electricity begins to form around it.
Is that a spell?
As it conjures
Hello?
another
Is that a
creature.
spell? Is that a spell?
It is not a spell.
What? My feet ruined.
What is your feat?
I have Mage Slayer. If something's casting a spell within 5 feet, I get an attack of opportunity.
Gotcha. I will keep that in mind in the future. So, let me go ahead and do a thing. Checking on a thing. 1 second. All right. A creature has been summoned as a spark of lightning manifests itself next to it. And then, top of the initiative order, it is going to go again.
Hey,
This
knock
cheeky
that
fucker.
off.
Stop that.
This one is a spell.
I punch it with my short sword.
Give
Not unarmed attack.
Sword punch. It's my favorite foe, so I get bonus damage.
That is correct. Once a round, I believe.
Yep.
All right, go for the attack. That hits. Ooh, short sword though, not magical.
Yeah, not. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a magical melee weapon. Oh.
Wait, so what happened? Is it only taking magic damage now?
It has what was it? Resistances to like most
Pierce,
physical
bludgeon,
shit.
and slash. That's not magic.
From non-magical sources, and she's doing an attack of op with a non-magical sword. All right, and with that, it will call down a lightning strike in this area. That's going to hit both. That's going to hit both Leask and Petra.
Wait, my bless.
It's what a. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my bless. Whatever.
I need you two to roll dexterity saves, please.
That's not a good stat of mine.
Ooh,
nice,
these.
nice.
Ooh.
Flat roll. Nice.
Ooh, Petra. Ooh. All right, you
17.
you both have succeeded, and thus will take half damage from the following. As 3d10 lightning damage comes rippling down, you both will take 7 points of lightning damage, and I need a concentration check from Leask. You're good. Nisa, it's your turn.
Oh.
Bless resurrect.
Oof. So there's a little dude right here.
That is correct.
Notes.
Oh no. I'm gonna first scan this guy.
Okay. Ooh, and with a wait, which one are you scanning? You said the big guy?
Big.
Yeah. You get to find out two things with a critical hit on your scan check.
Fantastic. Let's see.
I like the name of this creature.
Yeah,
Summer.
zappy bitch.
Okay, so did we figure out solidified concentration yet?
No.
All right, I want that one. And then, what about move turn? Did we do that one?
No.
And move turn. I want move turn.
Okay. So, two things I can tell you. Solidified concentration. The lightning primal has a focused mind and thus must meet certain conditions for concentration to be broken. If concentration is broken, it is unable to perform its concentration turn for 1 round and gains vulnerability 1. And now I get to introduce a new mechanic to you, vulnerability stacks. So instead of just making a creature just fully vulnerable for X amount of time, they gain stacks of vulnerability. What this means is, before anyone rolls damage, they can choose to spend that stack that is on the creature to have their damage be doubled. But it can only be done once, so you have to plot who you would want to use that vulnerability stack.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This DLC's crazy.
I need fucking.
Yeah,
thank
this
God
zappy
Summer's
guy
taking
sucks
notes,
at Final
man.
Fantasy.
That's like team tactics, though.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, but you have to choose to spend the vulnerability stack before you roll your damage, not your attack roll. So yeah, it's not like I'm gonna spend the vulnerability and then you miss, and then I go, well, I guess you don't have to. I guess you don't worry about it then, you know.
And how do we gain vulnerability stacks?
You have to break its concentration somehow, which you do not know how to do yet.
Okay.
So
we hit it very hard.
So, since you're finding out its move turn, I will go ahead and add its initiative to that now. So now you know when that happens. So, on a move turn, it has an initiative of 13. The lightning primal teleports, it essentially casts Thunderstep. It teleports 60 feet away with a thunderous boom. Each creature within 10 feet of the lightning primal must make a Constitution saving throw, which is DC 15, or otherwise you take 3d10 thunder damage on a failed saving throw, or have as much on a successful one. However, a target in melee is able to spend an action, if they so wish on their turn, to goad the enemy. This will essentially disable their Thunder Step for that round, and instead, the person that goads the Thunder Elemental, or the Thunder Primal, will be hit with a Slam attack during this turn. But essentially, you are able to disable their Thunder Step for that round if you spend an action to goad it.
Oh. Cool. Now, do we have a T-Rex doing the goading or a Bofidis goading?
I have
That
an
is-
intelligence of 2.
I'm a T-Rex.
I'm a moral
I will be
That
biting
might-
and tail swiping.
That might be higher than both of these. So
I will let you know, Nisa, that it is still your round and you have not taken your action yet.
I know that was a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot to digest.
I am digesting, but I'm also casting Zephyr Strike again.
Okay.
Because I would like to not provoke opportunity attacks because I'm in melee and I'm going to leave. I'm just gonna go way, way back here. Favored foe, I am going to hit it with my magic longbow +1.
Okay.
And then my, did that one hit?
Does a 18 hit? It does hit. For 13 points of damage.
And then I will do my Zephyr Strike, my next attack, that's Zephyr Strike with advantage.
Okay. That is a critical hit with a 29. So that is another 14 points of damage.
And then, let's see, the Zephyr Strike, did that calculate in? Zephyr Strike, oh, force damage 1. Wow, I low rolled that. Excellent. Wow.
Cool.
Cool. Okay, I scanned, I moved. I'm okay, I will pass turn.
Okay. Also, for your perusing and reading, I am copy and pasting all this information in for you guys as well. Yep. It's a lot to digest, but
Professor, is this going to be on the exam?
if you wish to survive.
Oh, God. In the exam, that is life.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, it is now its move turn. You will see it once again do a thunderous crash as it then shifts over. Stop it. As it will then teleport over there. I need T-Rex and I also need both of these to make Constitution saving throws.
1.
All right. So,
Wait,
Bless.
yeah, use that bless.
Yeah, so I've got 22.
You're good, and are you using bless as well too with a 14? 14 is not high enough. T-Rex is going to take 20 points of thunder damage. Both of these, you're going to take 10 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
This is for maintaining.
You have
this bless,
maintained successfully.
But I do take 20 damage.
You do take 20 damage, though, which I've already taken off of you, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, that is its move turn. Both of these is now your turn.
This little baby thing is okay down here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move over here.
Why do I get the small one?
I mean, if you want, I can take this one. I'll fight this one. Sure, fuck it.
I have to take an opportunity attack either way if I'm gonna chase him.
I'd like to move over here.
Oh wait, that's right. Both of these aura.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you would actually have +4 to that saving throw.
Well, in that case, you only take 10 points of damage.
Nice.
Sheesh.
And I have
if you're
reflected it accordingly.
Yeah, if you're within 10 feet of me, you have +4 to all saves, which is pretty good.
That means I literally can't fail my my concentration check with bless and that and my bonus.
The big guy. I'll fight the little guy. Fuck. Whoops. I moved on top of the little guy. Okay. First attack. 25.
That hits.
for 12 damage.
Okay. You slash
Still
up, doing. Yep, it's still up. It
Second
seems
attack.
rather healthy. 11 hits.
Wow, okay. 9 damage.
All right. Do you do anything else?
No, that's all my actions.
Okay.
Move, bonus, and okay.
Also, as a reminder, you still have your scan action, which isn't taking action.
Fine. I'll scan the guy. Fine. 22.
All right. What would you like to know?
What is? Tell me about wait. What don't we know about still?
Semi-intangible, powerful creature, action turn, conjuration turn,
Actually, I
concentration
selected
turn.
powerful creature.
I will learn about
Did you?
semi-intangible.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. That is correct. Hold on. Sorry.
We can
You
learn
can
HP
also
now.
ask meta shit, yeah.
If you do decide to learn that, yeah. You want to learn semi-intangible, you said?
Yes, correct.
All right. With semi-intangible, you may end your turn within their space.
Oh.
Enemies may end their
Oh,
turn in the
interesting.
lightning primal space. You are still affected by their attacks, though. So if they want to slam or cast a spell, you're still able to be targeted by it. But you're able to end your turn in their space. So, all right. T-Rex, Sogu Rex, it's your turn.
How's this dude next to the small one looking? You comfy?
Still looking rather healthy.
Can I scan as a 2 intelligence fucking T-Rex?
Oh God, I would say as a T-Rex, you have the inability to perform tactics.
Roar! Me eat!
And you hasted.
Oh yeah, I'm hasted. Actually, okay, if I'm hasted, it should probably bounce out to the other one.
On the juice.
He's juiced.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Then I will go
Get
for.
attack of op, or
I mean, if he wants to, I
Oh, yeah. He does. My apologies. Sorry, I'm looking. I was waiting for the. I thought you were rolling something. Okay, so
I'm about to be.
here we go. I'm trying to roll that slam. Roll 20 will let me. An 18 to hit.
Does.
All right, dealing. 15 points of bludgeoning damage. I need a concentration check from you, please.
Okay.
You're good. You are still a T-Rex.
Come on, for the record. So, yeah, 30. I get a 30, Brett. Does it pass?
Very good.
Mind like a steel
Well, man, if
trap.
this was like the end of the universe or whatever, you'd survive.
Oh no, my bite.
Oh, that is a critical miss.
Swing. Bite again.
Swing. Oh, that is also a miss.
This is the worst reality.
Indeed,
I
it is.
just missed my hasted fucking T-Rex super slam double bite.
It's all right.
Damn.
That's fucked up.
I take my
I don't-
haste back.
I have a plus 10 to hit. Or
What's it like being a discount druid?
I got a 1 and a 2 for a roll. What the fuck?
God damn.
God damn. I roar in frustration and I go get my package that just delivered at my house.
Okay. Where the hell? Oh, there you are. Yep.
Hello.
The lightning primal will cast a lightning bolt that will strike through the T-Rex and as well as Nisa. I need you to roll a dexterity save.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, Lawman forgot about the bless on his bites.
I am blessed.
Snooze, lose.
Oh, roll that bless. You succeed at the lightning bolt attack, and we shall wait for Sogu Rex to appear.
I swear, bless is just too good for us.
Dodge.
We'll never utilize.
Bless is for losers.
Bless is literally one of the best spells in the game. It's not.
Yeah. I just have to remember to use it.
Yeah, it's like literally the best.
Lawman!
Huh?
I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Sorry, I was.
And also,
getting
we
my-
all have to be aware of Bless.
What's bless?
Never heard of it.
All right, dex save.
Yes, please.
Yes.
14.
Bless. Bless.
Plus bless. Plus bless.
14 is not high enough.
What about 16?
16 is high enough.
Bless.
Woo,
Otters.
Saved by the bless. You both take 15 points of lightning damage as he creates a lightning bolt.
Ow.
Yikes.
I need a concentration check from T-Rex.
This is a hard reality, dude.
DC 10. Oh, you're good. You're good. Sachi, it's your turn.
Cool, that's me. I'm Sachi. So is he immune to anything right now? The big one?
Just poison and resistance.
Poison.
To
Poison and then resistance to bludgeoning and stuff, right?
And lightning and thunder.
Bludgeoning, piercing, slashing.
I'm gonna dual cast wildfire bolt, and I'll hit the small one and the big one.
Okay.
So this is going to the small one. What's my roll? Oh, not
That is a
good.
critical miss. So good thing you
And
went to
the
the
big
small one. Yep. 13 does not hit.
I'm gonna bless both of them. Here's to the
Okie dokie.
first one.
Just so you know, the first one was a critical miss, so it auto fails.
Okay, well, that goes
And-
to the second one then.
17 hits.
Okay. 1d4, 4d10
Ooh.
damage.
Ooh.
I don't know why I decided to do those separately.
Thanks for that.
16,
27 points
20,
of damage.
Yeah,
Or
27.
Wait, 16, 7. Yep, 27. Cool.
20. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, you've done your action. You still have a move
And then
bonus
I'm
and scan
gonna
check.
sketch the big one.
Okay. What would you like to know?
Let me check the doc.
We can know meta info now, like HP.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'll know HP then. I didn't know we got to half.
Yeah, once we get half.
HP, please.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Not bad. Could be worse.
Does that end your round? Would you like to move?
No, I'm gonna stay right here.
All right. Lisk.
Lisk, that's me. I scan.
What would you like to know?
Give me we didn't do conjuration turn, right?
That is correct.
I would like conjuration turn.
All right. Here's a bunch of information that you should know about the conjuration turn. A very important turn.
I don't want him summoning more of those in my butt.
So, God, I don't know why I copied all that. On an initiative of 1. So you get to another initiative. Let me just go ahead and do that. Well, bam. So on an initiative of 1, the lightning primal spawns a lightning simulacrum. Simulacrum has hit points equal to half of the lightning primal's current hit points. If a creature ends their turn in the lightning primal space, the summon effect does not go off. Instead, the creature within the space that they're sharing with the primal must make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage, being dealt 3d10 lightning damage on a failed saving throw, or half as much on a successful one. In short, you don't want to summon, you got to stand in a space, but you're going to take lightning damage when you do so.
Okay. Well, shit. That's real fun and interactive.
Get zapped or
I'm
get
having
summons.
a great time.
I made that meme.
You said you wanted to suffer.
I do like suffering. It is very fun. Well, time to suffer more. I'm gonna touch him.
Okay. Are you going into space?
I'm gonna touch him with an inflict wounds for now.
Nice.
I touch.
That 11 misses.
I have bless.
That
I don't think a
13 misses.
We have lucky, right? Right? We have lucky.
Oh yeah, lucky that. Fuck that.
We're all lucky, guys.
Again, extremely lucky.
22 hits.
All right. Oh my
For
god.
42 points of damage.
I did upcast it, so
It also rolled incredibly well.
that. Oh my god, those
10,
rolls.
8, 10, 8.
Oh.
Doo-doosh.
Hello.
This has been a painful experience.
I want to. Yeah, I'll stand in his spot.
Yay, suffer. All right. Does that end? That ends your round. Petra, it's your turn.
I'm at a disadvantage if I cast in range of it, right?
That is
Melee
correct.
range?
That is correct.
What a fucked up day.
Inflict wounds, good spell. Wow.
And it's resistant to thunder damage, right?
That is correct.
YOLO. How do I? Let's just roll. I'm just gonna roll at disadvantage with Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Ooh, that's a critical miss.
All right, we're gonna try it again.
That is a miss with a 12.
But what about with a 15?
A 15 is a hit.
Okay, I'm gonna hit it, and I'm gonna push it 10 feet back.
Okay. How much damage do you deal? 5 points? Is it 8 points?
Wow. Wait.
All right.
Why did it? Oh, I see.
You push it back 10 feet.
Plus 3 damage as well for the Jin,
Yep.
whatever.
I went ahead and added it already.
And I'm going to run away.
Okay. Does that injure?
Scan, because, you know, we gotta get that. Yo, Terry, what is the fuck?
13's not high enough. All right. Does that end your round?
Yeah.
All right. Time for the conjuration turn. Since Leask is no longer standing in the creature, its conjuration will go off, summoning another simulacrum.
Might be.
God damn it.
Might be a mismeasured.
All right. And top
Wait
of
a
the
minute. Wouldn't 10 feet be one to the left?
It did. You said 10 feet back. So it
Yeah,
went
but wouldn't that one?
boom, boom.
Oh, I see what you mean. Never mind.
Yeah. T-Rexin way. All right.
I roar at him.
All right. So at the top of the round, it will once again hold out its hands and it will strike over here at T-Rex and Leask. They call lightning. I need you two to make dexterity saves. Leask and T-Rex. Leask, you good? T-Rex? 10 is not high enough.
Bless.
Bless, even though I think the DC is 15.
Bless.
Yeah!
14 is not high enough.
Yeah, DC
He
15.
tricked us.
I rolled shit. You, T-Rex will take 8 points of damage. Leask, you'll take 4. I need a concentration check from the dino.
And from me.
And from you, that is correct. Hey, everyone's good. Nisa, it's your turn.
All right, I move forward 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I shoot the big man twice.
Okay. That's a crit.
Crit for days.
Crit.
He is also my favorite foe.
So you get to roll 2d6, or what's your favorite damage now?
1d6, so it'd be 2d6 on a crit?
Yep, you roll 2d6. I can roll that for you if you'd like.
Okay.
You got it. Cool. 6 points of damage.
Nice, I shoot it again.
That hits. For 7 points of damage.
And then big brain time. Wait, I want to cast silence on me and both of these.
Okay. All right. A silence goes off.
I would like a 20-foot radius sphere, please.
Yep, I'm giving you that right now. All right. Anything else you do?
Let me.
Wait,
Yes, perfect.
your brain is so big, I could kiss you.
Mwah. We are
Mwah.
now immune to thunder damage while within the silence.
Let's go.
I
go.
scan Big
Ophides
Chungus.
says that, but he obviously can't hear him.
We just say,
Yep. 22. What would you like to know?
let me look.
Condition immunities, concentration turn, and action turn.
Condition immunity.
Okay. Its condition immunities are exhaustion, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, resistance, and being knocked unconscious.
Okay, that's good to know.
so all the good ones, yep.
And
Alright, that ends my turn.
All right. Okay. At the end of your round, this elemental will go in for the slam.
The slam.
The slam to both of these with a 16, which will miss. Both of these, it's your turn.
Definitely miss. I will strike back. For 16.
That hits
8 damage.
for 8 damage. Cool.
Swing again. 23.
That
This
hits.
time for. Can you please let me?
You can,
There we go.
There
I'll
you
just
go.
click it.
No good.
7.
All right. Anything else you do?
No. Doesn't
Okay.
end.
Sogusaurus. Actually, no, not Sogusaurus. I'm sorry. It is now the move turn. So it's gonna go ahead and with a thunderous crash appear by Sachi. I need Sogusaurus and Leask to go ahead
Cringe.
Wait,
and make a
was that
Constitution
after
saving
both
throw.
of
Yeah, I accidentally skipped the turn.
these? Okay.
What save again?
Constitution.
Next? Oh, con. Okay.
A 12 is a fail. A 12 is a fail.
Bless.
Lawman succeeds. Leask succeeds.
Bless is OP.
Taking 9 points of thunder damage each. I need you both to make Constitution saving throws. You both are good. Sogusaurus, it's now your turn.
Oh, bother. I come over and I'm gonna try to bite him.
Okay. That hits for a total of 25 points of damage.
No. That's second bite from haste.
Oh, sorry. I was like 25 points. Jesus. Oh, my apologies.
That's
My
the damage.
apologies.
Yeah, that's the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, say it.
So 20 points of damage and 17 points of damage. With a thunderous bite, the lightning
fucking
primal
rip it.
will then just ripple and explode within your mouth.
I let out a
Nom.
Godzilla roar.
It was
.mp3.
like pop rocks.
As the simulacrums also fade in existence. The storm.
And then you become lethargic because I drop concentration.
Oh, slow T-Rex.
Do the small ones fade too?
Yep.
Then I will revert to old man.
Return to old.
In this. Oh, sorry, my bad. That's the wrong layer. As the storm begins to pass and fade at this point in time, the elemental, the primal, now defeated. You will see off in the distance, up into the sky, the rain begin to settle. The lightning and thunder crashes begin to storm, and the clouds begin to form into a familiar figure. As you see a void corrupted version of Terry off in the distance of the sky.
Oh, there he is.
No.
Fly off to the north, apparently seeking something. In its wake, leaving devastation wherever Void Terra Salam goes. And with that, we will end today's session of Radiance.
We didn't have to
God
teleport.
damn it,
We could have just
Terry.
killed a storm
Clap.
elemental.
Clap.
Clap.
Damn it, Terry.
Dude.
Sachi, without anything, just goes back to sleep.
Les saved us so many times today. Oh my god.
Blessed was blessed.
We were
Truly
rolling like
blessed.
shit.
It was like garbage. Bless. Succeed.
Succeed. Garbage. Bless. Succeed.
This
Bless
is why
is-
Bless is the best spell.
Bless is
True.
pretty.
I believe
I
it, man,
mean,
dude.
mechanically, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Bless
insane.
is pretty fucking good and saved your ass plenty of times. What'd you think of today's session? Did you guys enjoy yourself?
Yeah, it was
Yes,
good.
Fun
If
fight.
every enemy is
Was
gonna be
fun.
like that, dude, that I feel
Every
really
enemy's a
bad because
fucking
that's so
boss
much
fight.
work. But that was
Yeah.
sick.
I greatly enjoy the tougher combats.
Yeah, did you like it? Did you like the new the kind of like the new battle?
It
session?
definitely was a
I
lot
like
more
dynamic bosses
engaging.
that aren't just tank and spink.
Yeah, it's just like melee goes in melee range, and then they hold the
Yeah.
aggro, and then bish bash bosh.
so.
But sometimes those tank and spink fights
Yeah.
are fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I enjoy making these, so it's definitely not a problem for me. And also some of the terms like powerful creature, solid fight, concentration, you'll see in other boss fights as well. So you'll be like, I don't need to learn that again because I actually learned what that means from the previous boss fight. So you don't have to waste scan checks.
Yes.
I
Yes.
fear the day that you start throwing bosses that have healing mechanics.
Yes.
Right.
So I do want to share because you guys didn't learn about its concentration turn, just to kind of give you a general idea. So the concentration turn, essentially, it casts a spell that typically has a concentration. In this case, was called lightning. So every round, it was able just to do called lightning to add the damage. To shatter its concentration, you had to cast a cold spell at it, which meant it would have had to force to make a concentration check at a disadvantage on the concentration turn. And if it failed, it doesn't cast call lightning, and that's where the stack of vulnerability comes in. So then you also
cold.
So yeah, if you did any cold damage, it has
I
to
lack that.
Yeah, it has to do.
Strokes beard. I think we needed T-Rex teeth.
So yeah, so definitely there's a lot of its mechanics can be essentially the idea is a lot of its mechanics can be like circumvented or changed, but typically it involves you to make a price. For example, if you want to disable its summon, you can, but you're going to have to eat thunder damage. So, or if you want it to not move, you have to goad it, but you have to sacrifice an action. So I definitely want to introduce more choices into the combat, so you guys feel like you really have to do a big thonk before engaging in the fight. So and they'll only become more violent from there. So I hope you guys
I look forward to being the note taker. Yes.
Lord knows we need it.
Naomi was your note taker before.
I've learned well from Naomi. You should have seen me and her in one of our big endgame fights. Man, me and her were popping off.
Yeah, in Hunter Savio, since they're fighting like Monster Hunter styled monsters, Naomi immediately was like, "I shall go ahead and take these notes down." So
I only wish that I could type as fast as that woman. If you watch her take notes in real time, she types so fast, I cannot believe it.
So, yeah, no, I'm really glad you guys enjoyed the fight mechanics, and bosses will continue to evolve in the future. I think one of D&D's weakest elements in combat is solo fights. In 4th edition, and Octo will speak up to it, they definitely try to do solo encounters with typically just being like, oh, it has a lot of hit points, but it could also do like multiple actions per round, shit like that. So
yeah, they had
elites and solos.
Yeah, elites and solos, and Yeah, everything was an HP sponge in 4th edition.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So it'll continue to evolve. So thank you so much. I'm glad you guys enjoyed today's session. I'm really glad you guys enjoyed that battle. Yeah.
Thank you for running.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brett.
Yeah.
Have
So-
fun in your
Brett.
one shot later.
So
Love the
wait.
new logo.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, so we'll do fan art. I know we pulled it off a couple of weeks, but we keep ending late, and I apologize. I think this time it was because I literally lost electricity, so we started late. But we will do fan art next week. Hopefully we will end early enough to do that. Sound good?
Good.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next week, okay?
Later.
Peace out, man.
Okay.
Bye,
All right. Bye, everyone. How'd you guys enjoy yourselves? Did you all have fun? Running on propane generators right now. Yeah, we lost that. What'd you guys think of the mechanics? Did you guys enjoy all those mechanics that were in the fight? Yeah, I like adding mechanics to boss fights. That was a nice fight. Yeah. It's been it's just definitely thinking on things, you know. I feel like, and I have to give props for props is good. I've only done 2 sessions of Arcadum's game, and I already feel as a DM motivated, like I'm kind of like picking up little things and learning stuff. So I'm really glad I joined the Arcadum game, because it has allowed me to like really just be like, how do I enhance this? Like, how do I be a better DM? So yeah, Arcadum's been pretty rad. So it's been pretty fucking awesome. I think honestly, I began to think more about boss fights even further to the next level when I saw. We've only done 2 fights in Arcadum's game. I really haven't seen much of his encounters, but I know Arcadum says he's like the master of encounters. We only saw the one fight that we actually went through that we didn't run away from. I took note of something and I was like, oh, that's fucking interesting. It was the yokai or whatever the hell we were fighting, throwing the blind slime, where if you get hit, it was just literally like, it was literally like as it hits eyes. I was like, oh, take an action to remove that. And I was like, oh, and that got to me thinking, like, there should be actions where you have to make a choice, and that's pretty fucking cool. So our super scary high risk, yeah, I bet. So hopefully I am presenting to you that same level of boss fights. Chat, you keep saying shit that he's done in his past. I don't know what it is, and I'm not gonna ask. So, oh, dude, the shark fight. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This boss fight was good to is cool to watch. Cool. Lots of gamba with encounters. I mean, yeah, absolutely. So, hopefully I'll be able to mark my own and create my own unique shit as well. So, yeah, but you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself, and everything was a lot of fun. Yep. But I love seeing how different DMs handle their worlds and encounters. Yeah. Would thou consider making nat ones as fantastic a failure as a nat 20 would be a success? Like, you, instead of saying you miss, it's more like you hit yourself in the face. Nah. The nat ones already suck. I don't need to go ahead and like add another level to nat ones where it's like, it sucks and you fucking hate yourself for it. Nat ones are already pretty bad. Nat ones are auto hits, they're auto fails. Blesses can't apply to that. Yeah, I don't do that. They're already bad enough as it is. We don't need a different level. So yep. Yeah, chat, you don't have to explain Arcadum's boss fights to me. Let me experience them for myself, Smile. Yeah, let me experience them for myself. Yeah, no, setting your friend on fire here. Yeah, nah. That ones are already pretty shitty. Yeah, critical fail. I mean, it already sucks being like, oh, that you auto failed. Next. So, but yeah, you guys enjoyed yourself. You liked the encounters? Good encounter. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that boss fight. That was a lot of fun to make. Yeah. If Brett wanted to know, Boss McKings could always watch the VODs. No. Chat, I don't have time to watch another DM's other games. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, dude, watch another DM's do all the DMing. No. No. Yeah, I'm already running 5 things. Speaking of Arcane, Pride of the Night Wolf, episode 3 now, right? No. Today's session was canceled. Joe Cat had a previous engagement that he already agreed to prior to us doing Pride of the Night Wolf. So you're doing good stuff. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So we were not doing Pride of the Night Wolf tonight. Instead, I am going to be playing a one-off with Monty and the other DMs. We're doing an offline thing. So I created a character for that. It's a one-off thing. I don't know how much Monty once revealed about it, so I'm not going to go into too much details of what she's running. But I was like, you know what? We're off. And honestly, all the DMs in our group are so fun and so fucking experienced. It's really good to see how other DMs do, and you kind of like begin to like adjust to that, you know? So, but I did rush over and make a character. I don't mind showing you what I'm making. It's literally a one-off. I made a Triton Storm Sorcerer, who is also a prince, which I thought was really fucking fun. I took some art from all over the place, and then just amended it to make the character I want. And here's my character. Hello. Oh. So he's got a little spear and a little crown, and he's just having a good day. And he waddles around. Fish. Yeah. I'm gonna have my character, whenever he walks around, make squishy noises. Just. And all of his spells are themed around storms, which fucking sucks because there's a lot of spells that I didn't get to take because I was like not storm themed enough. So originally I was going to do anything that does thunder or water or lightning, and then if I had extra spells, I was going to take transmogrify meta magic, which pretty much allowed me to change elements of spells. So if I was like, hey, throws fireball, and I'm like, no, now it's a lightning ball, or hey, magic missile, it's like, well, now they're lightning bolts, little lightning bolts, things like that. But out of all the spells I grabbed, they were all storm themed that I didn't have any more. I didn't have any more fucking there. Yeah, but level ready for the one shot. I'm not gonna share just because, like I said, I don't know how much information Monty once shared, and it's an offline thing, so it might be for a thing Monty's doing in the future as well. So I just wanna respect that. You know what I mean? I just want to give that respect. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight. So, yeah, Pride Night will be back next week. So, but yeah, I'm excited. We've got 10 sessions planned for Radiance, which I'm super stoked. I'm kind of trying, like I said, just trying new planning, trying new DMing things, kind of keeping things wrapped up. I meant to tell you this at the beginning, but we were so late they didn't too. For those that are still here, if you make maps in D&D, I would like to see what you can do for the potential to hire you for a paid position. Head on over to our IO Discord, go to the announcement sections, which I will pin right now. Hey, yo, did Discord shit the bed? Oh, never mind. Yeah, Discord shit the bed. Look at that. Yeah, I'm also getting hit by Discord as well. So, yeah, it looks like Discord's not doing well. Oh, yeah, Discord's dying. Well, I'm going to pin it. That's unfortunate. I'm going to pin the application. I'm currently looking for people who design maps. Because you guys have been so kind on the Patreon and your subscriptions, everything that I'm like, you know what? I would think we're ready to hire some people on for IO, and getting maps made that would allow me to focus on other shit that's not other things, So yeah, thank you for everyone who supports the Patreon, because I'm going to be hiring I'm probably 2 or 3 map makers, honestly. So fill out the application, let me know what you've been working on. If you like making D&D maps, it's a paid position. I think it's paid fairly, that hopefully I can raise the pay as we continue to get more support on the Patreon. But yeah, consider it. I would really, and I'm going to be advertising that in all the streams. Yeah. Also support our Patreon while we're at it. This month's been a little, been pretty good on Patreon support. It wasn't as strong as last month's, for one reason or another. But we're still sitting pretty, you know, we're still doing good. We're still sitting pretty. So thank you to everyone who offered their support over on the Patreon. Consider supporting in the future, because that is what keeps IO afloat. It is what has been keeping, allows me to continue to run all these great games. It's what allows me to be in a position where I can actually hire people to build maps and give back to the community and give them, you know, time and money, or give them, paying, for being able to pay for work and be able to hire people for work, whether it be art from our community. Otherwise, it's absolutely fantastic. I want to thank Why Not Gemology, Baker Staunch, Wiry Traveler, Conair on DVD, Starter Pack, Lopar Panda, Twitching Pickle, and Eagle Wolf for your support on the Patreon. Big support over on the Patreon. You can donate as little as $3 or as much as $300. And like I said, your support essentially goes back into IO. It allows us to hire people literally from our IO community. And yeah, if you want to catch up on all of the IO videos, go to our YouTube channel and watch All King, which is our first season, which is the first season of this campaign. Under IO was the second season, and now Radiance, which is our third season. So go ahead and watch all of it. It's been really good. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. EST, Goblins of Io with some fine folks. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Also, thank you to Blackfoot Ferret, Young Riles, Creed the Mage. Yo, Creed the Mage, welcome to the Rec Pack, brand new tier 1 sub. To Tori Rudo with the tier 1 sub. Polly for resubscribing. Adamat Moots with the tier 1 sub. Pleasant Pheasant for gifting a sub to the Old One Reborn. Thank you so much for that. That's it, chat. I'm bouncing out for the night because I got shit I gotta do. I'll see you all tomorrow. Hopefully I can start streaming a little early, because I also want to like play some other games, you know, before Goblins. We'll see. I'm trying to get some more not D&D streaming going. But thank you so much for your support. Head on over to the IO Discord when Discord does finally decide to go up. Follow me on twitter.com/BrettUltimus. I will see you all the next time. Bye-bye.